Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler is here. And welcome to the show, everybody.
Let's do some Weird Job Wednesday.
All right. Weird Job Wednesday on deck. Go. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by StreamlineFlorida.com. Look at your finances. If it's time to refinance your house, call Streamline, because if you're paying mortgage insurance, you have equity in your house. Everybody does right now. Like house prices are insane.
It would be hard not to have equity right now, right?
Yeah, unless you just bought or something. You know what I'm
Sure,
saying? But if you
sure.
bought like 2 years ago, you got equity.
Or if you're a hoarder and you have one of those toilets with a pyramid of doo-doo in it.
That doesn't matter. But people, flippers will still buy it.
Yeah. Flippers Pizza.
Delicious pizza.
Hey, you
Same
know
page
what?
today.
You get a Presto trip.
So, or like you have credit card bills, or you have like a huge payment or something with high
Could
interest.
You pay my medical bills? Could
You know.
pay my telephone bills?
If you could refi your house with a lesser rate and pay all that stuff off, then I know people that save like $500 a month.
Well, we did
just by refi.
We did a lot of that. We took money out, we paid some stuff off, and then we put floors in my entire home, raised the value of my house, you know, and actually save some money.
Dude, I dropped down to a 15-year. So my 15-year plan is the house is paid
Get
off.
the hell out of here if you want to. Rent that
yeah.
thing out of here. Get in your RV. Get in a spaceship. I don't know.
Yeah. Although,
Or just take the money out and buy jet skis. A bunch of jet skis.
Yeah.
You know, buy
More.
3 for yourself.
Yeah. Hey, we got Phillip on the line. How you doing, Phillip?
Doing well. How are you?
Good.
Phillip, are you a fan of the jet ski?
Yeah, I haven't been on one for about 15 years, but I always scroll on the internet, always looking for one, just dreaming.
Me too. Me too.
I like Phillip.
I like Phillip.
You're a Florida man, right, Phillip?
I was. I lived there for 10 years, multiple places. My favorite place was I lived down the street from you all in Baldwin Park, and I'd see you all walking around, but I never said anything.
Why didn't you say anything, Phillip? Why didn't you be like, hey, Tom and Dan, screw you?
Wow.
I like that.
I'm surprised you're on the air still.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not going to bother you. I would just listen to you and just drive around like, oh, there they are, but I just wouldn't say anything.
I'm kind of glad you didn't say anything, Phillip, because to tell you the truth, I have enough friends right now and acquaintances, and I don't necessarily, I like you on the phone, and I want you to stay there.
And also, Phillip, didn't you do the math? You're like, these guys aren't that famous, so
Yeah.
it's not like you're bothering Tom Hanks at
they're
a
walking down the
dinner or
street,
something.
for
You know?
Christ's sake.
Yeah, like if I yelled like, hey, they'll probably be like, oh, go, someone
I was
listens.
like,
That's
thank
good.
God somebody listens to our show. Phillip, I'd be hugging your leg.
Or like, that gives us hope. Like, we have no hope, Phillip. Like,
No.
if we just walk around town, no one says nothing.
Yeah.
And they treat us like normal people, and we're like,
And we're
well,
trapped.
this doesn't seem like
and
it's
we're
going to work.
And we're trapped in this job. We can't get out of this.
No one even knows who we are.
Yeah, well, I used to see Dan run around in a scooter, but he would just go around the neighborhood for all I saw, so he never really left.
No, I don't leave the
yeah,
neighborhood. I
that's-
ride my scooter in circles around the neighborhood. Everybody knows that.
Did you ever think about, like, what if I run into him and I'm the person that killed Dan?
I like that. Finally, you said something of substance on this program. This guy.
That had to have run through your mind a little bit, right?
like that.
What if I'm on the news?
Yeah. I
Because
think about that all the time. I think about what if I kill Tom? What if I back over him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like jumping off a cruise ship. You have these fleeting thoughts that are
Yeah.
crazy.
You'd be famous.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has crazy
Why
thoughts.
are you guys putting this in listeners' heads?
I don't know.
You know,
We should make it a challenge, right? No.
Who can kill us?
no!
Put it out
Who
there.
can kill
Do
us
not put that out there.
It's never been done before, Sam.
My nightmare.
Yeah, it's the murder challenge.
I'm sure someone's not like, oh, I never thought of it. Anyway, all right, Phillip, what do you do?
I'm a property manager.
So,
I've done houses. I did a little bit of apartments, and I'm back in houses now, single family.
okay, so do you work for a company that does this? I know there was our advertiser, I believe, Property Medics. They,
Oh, yeah.
they did property management and
Yeah, the weird thing about that, they went out of business because not a lot of houses have diseases.
they're still in business.
No, they're still in business. I'm joking. That's a joke.
But so
Their house has AIDS. I'm so sorry.
do you work for a company or just do it on your own?
No, I worked for like a small shop originally in Orlando for about 4 years until one day they pulled the rug out from under me and they shut down. So I had to go into maintenance. But mostly the company I worked for in Orlando had about 300 houses, mostly in Pine Hills, most downtown off of Paramore. So it was a real interesting day to day. Probably had about 5 evictions a month.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to
when
ask
you're
you.
dealing in like a socioeconomic, like an area that, the houses are, it's a bad area, and you're going to get a lot of turnover and.
So, but you won't get a lot of people complaining that like things don't work as much. I feel because. Am I wrong
you're
about
wrong.
that? Okay, because I'm trying to
I've
figure
learned
out.
through this show that you're wrong a lot.
Well, here's what I'm thinking, Phillip, because I was about to yell that your job was super easy because I'm imagining.
I still think you should yell that. That's on brand.
I mean, that is on
That's
brand.
on brand.
Well, no, because now he's talking about evictions and things like that. That's super difficult to me and very awkward and horrible to do.
Look,
like
I
you
don't get awkward, but eviction might
Yeah.
be the one that like I don't think I can do that stuff.
You're gonna put a family out in the street.
I don't
It's
want
like,
that. No, honestly, I can say right now, and I don't get uncomfortable. I cannot do that job. I cannot.
I'll never do that
If
job,
there's
no.
a family in a house,
Yeah.
and I work for the guy, and the guy goes, "You got to go kick the family." I say, "I'm so sorry, I quit."
Yeah.
I cannot.
I'll work anywhere else, and there's a lot of jobs.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever hit a job.
Almost every business is hiring, maybe 100% of them.
Phillip, I don't think
Except
we've
for us.
ever had a job that I've ever said I will not do, and this is one that I don't think I will do.
So going back to I thought it was easy is because I'm thinking of myself when I was a renter. I barely ever called the landlord or whatever for anything. Like I remember like
Fly under the radar.
one time the AC broke and I called them, but other than that, there was like 5 years I never bothered them. So it was like no one was ever repairing anything. Like it was just the house rented for 5 years, and I never bothered them. What management do they need?
The only time I ever called my property manager was when I was smoking outside in my bathrobe, and I locked myself out of my glass door, and trying to jimmy it open, I shattered the glass in it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got it replaced. I cheaped out and replaced it with plexiglass. And when he came over to inspect it, he realized it was plexiglass, and he started knocking on it. He's like, "This is goddamn plexiglass!" And then he got mad, and he called me, and then my dad yelled at him, and I thought they were going to fight in the parking lot.
So, Phillip, let's go back to the weird job. So you have to go and evict families?
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't lately because the company I work for now works in more high-end houses. So the houses we manage are like 250,000 up and up, and the ones we used to are like around 50 to 100. But the evictions would happen more than often, and so sometimes these are ones you go in there with the sheriff, no one's there, so you're like, all right, fine, change the locks, you're fine. The awful ones are the ones you knock on the door, everyone's like rubbing their eyes, sleeping, 7 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, I got one more day. The sheriff's like, no, you don't. You got to get out now. They're like, we'll call the office. I'm like, I am the office. And so they have to get off the property, onto the sidewalk, in their pajamas. And whoever's on the lease can't go back in the
You're a
house.
terrorist, sir.
Oh, yeah,
These little kids are in their
Oh
sleepy
my
eyes
God.
and pajamas?
But
Yeah, he's
Give him
standing,
a break. Give him
standing
a
out there
day,
in their
Phillip.
SpongeBob pajama pants.
Oh.
Hold on,
my
but-
God.
The
but it-
kids haven't had their breakfast yet.
Oh my God! All they want is a
Hold
bowl
on.
of O's. They want a bowl
Oh,
of O's.
delicious.
Hold on.
No almond milk,
but-
full fat.
Philip knows it's just business. I mean, like they
Have
were.
a heart.
Oh my
man.
God! Scrooge Van over here.
Yeah, he is.
They were renters.
Jesus.
I mean, it's not the kids' fault. Like the kid, I feel bad for
So
the
you
kids.
let them stay,
Well, I
but
blame the
adults
parents.
gotta go.
Yeah.
Well, the parents knew. Like they're like,
It's
I thought
Home Alone scenario.
I thought I had one more day. Like you're not even. There's nothing in boxes here. Like,
By the way, I
why'd
say
you
that.
wait?
I say that for everything I mess up. I say I thought I had one more day.
But I understand that you're in a bad financial situation. There's a million different things that could happen. I mean,
Oh my God! Are you evicting someone right now? I hear a siren.
Like Philip, no matter what, and I just tried to play devil's advocate because I too feel like this is horrible, and I'm sure you felt bad. But what are you supposed to do? Like, you can't let someone stay in a house rent free forever. There's
Give
an
him a day, Tom, a day.
I mean,
there's an eviction time, but they gave him a day. They gave him a month.
Philip could do what I said to do, and he could quit his job and go work for someone else.
Yeah, but someone's got to do it, right?
No.
The economy.
Robot. Get a robot to do
The
it.
economy will collapse.
got a robot.
A robot will be
Yeah.
meaner
Yeah.
because they are
No,
cold.
he'll be logical. I don't think robot has a concept of mean.
Yeah,
If
but
you- if
They
he's
also
just
don't have a concept of capitalism or money,
Yeah,
so they
if-
let the kids
But
stay.
logical is, hey, we gave you a month. This is the day we told you
yeah, but
a
he's
month
like,
ago.
the robot's
you
just
have
gonna
to get
start
out.
burning the house down.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's even worse.
I like that better. I like the robot that's not on blood on anybody's hands. It's robot only.
So, Philip, did you ever feel so bad that you thought about quitting, or was it just like, hey, you justified it like, hey, we gave these people a month. Well, I don't understand why they waited till the last day or they didn't know, and this is what it is. How do you
Well,
justify
you get a
it?
month. You get a month, then you get 2 weeks, and then 24 hours, the sheriff comes and posts a notice, knocks on the door, talks to you, and says, look, we'll be back here tomorrow at 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock or whatever, and you have to be out. And then 24 hours later, we're there with the sheriff. Sheriff knocks on the door, tells everybody to get out. They clear the house, guns out and everything.
Oh, God.
And then,
Good God, we have
And then-
guns out.
My God, I'm in there dressed like
Well,
a
because there could
child
be
hiding in a
someone-
closet, Alien Gonzalez
Yeah.
style.
Correct. And then they get out. They're all very upset, screaming at me. By this time, the sheriff has already done his job, so goes and just leaves. So I got to deal with it. And you can't have anybody on the lease go back in the house, because if they do, they run back in and lock the door. That's squatters' rights. You have to go back to the
Yeah.
eviction
I like
process
that.
all over again.
Oh man, that's dumb.
you
Yeah,
gotta-
So wait, you
play
kick-
chicken, you run back in,
Yeah,
you
it's
lock
like
the door.
wet foot, dry foot in
So,
Miami.
yeah.
It's like if you make 1 foot on dry land,
Yeah.
you
I like
are
that.
there.
And
that
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Now hold on, Philip. You made it a game, so I'm kind of into this now. So you kick me out. I'm standing on the sidewalk,
As soon as that cop
shirtless,
leaves.
and I got SpongeBob pajama pants on, and I'm standing out there and I'm smoking. Well, I'm jeweling. I'm a classy person. I got my jewel.
It's 2021.
Yeah, I'm tooting my jewel, and then
Yeah.
and then I'm like, hey, I left my glasses in there. I need my glasses to read. And you're like, oh, and I run
Lock
and
the
I
door.
dive in and I lock the door.
Yeah.
And then you're going to start
now
the
you're
process.
in, baby.
Yeah.
30 more days.
30 more days?
And then do I yell squatters' rights through the window, and then
Yes.
I can open the door and just drink a beer in front of you and like flick you off and.
I'd go in and get you because then I'd be
I
like,
think you would go in and get
yeah,
me.
because I would tell you, listen,
I don't have Nest cameras in there to catch anything,
I'm,
you know.
I'm gonna go in there and pull you out, drag you out,
And you would too. I know
and,
you would.
And you're gonna
Let me finish my jewel first.
You're gonna call the cops, and guess what? The same cop that just evicted you is gonna show up and believe me. You know, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. But
Yeah, because I have no shirt on and I'm just smoking my jewel.
so Philip,
it.
what's the most awkward situation you've ever been in?
Was it an eviction or just ever?
Ever.
Well, yeah,
No,
as a
I'm
property
kidding.
manager, like because I imagine that you've been in some awkward situations.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have a 3-bedroom house with like 8 people in there, like 4 kids, 4 adults. The
That's
adults
fine.
are screaming and crying.
We
the
like it
kids are
tight.
crying. And
We're minimalists. We don't
No.
need a lot of space. You know what? Put out.
God, Philip, how? Okay, do you just have to shut off emotionally, or do
Well,
you?
are you listening to the call at all? I mean, does he sound like he's a Broadway star?
Because
I'm not hearing the emotion. I think I thought we were talking to you for a split second.
well, because I understand that like you said, you gave him a month. the cops came and talked to them, posted a notice on the door, gave them 24 hours. So why don't they know? Why are they surprised when you come the next day for the eviction? So I can understand being like, hey, we went through everything. Why aren't you prepared for this? Why are you screaming and crying?
I got an
But
idea.
it's still, that is horrible to deal
So
with.
Phillip shows up to my door, and this comes from the chat room. I'm taking something that they said and putting a
Okay.
variation on it. So Phillip shows up at my door. He knocks, and the cops are there, and they say, you got to go outside. I'm just going to answer the door completely naked. And then I'm just going to stay in my house naked, and they can't make me put on clothes.
I've seen cops before.
Are they going to
back
go in there
around-
and tase me and then put clothes on my body? Or like,
They'll put the pajama pants on
No.
you, like a handcuff.
it's
They'll
impossible.
do it.
It's impossible to open my legs.
No, they'll-
They're strong.
I've seen them.
Strong little legs. Like these things are, because they're only 2 inches long, they're strong.
Or they'll take you to jail naked, I think.
Ooh. Don't threaten me with a good time.
That's
It's not a good time. It's cold and horrible, I imagine. So, Phillip, besides from evictions, like the rest of the stuff is what? Like fixing minor problems, handyman stuff. How many times do they clog the drains with the female napkins, if you know what I mean? Because I imagine that happened a lot.
Every day that happens.
Every day? Every day you have to pull tampons out of a sewer
How
system? My
good-
God, man.
I-
Get your job.
I picked the most normal problem, right?
Well, you also picked the worst job. This guy every day is pulling tampons and kicking kids
Yeah.
out of houses. I would
Terrible.
kill myself.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
kill myself.
It
There's
does
no
sound
way
horrible.
It sounds horrible. When the best part is pulling tampons, that's the best part. I'm out.
No, it's so I don't do the maintenance anymore, but I was a property manager. I had a maintenance contract, so me and a couple other guys would go do like what they call turns, like the renovations after someone moves out, or emergency calls, or just regular maintenance calls. And I was also a realtor too, so I did triple duty. But the maintenance calls, when you have to drag an auger on top of the roof to go down the vent stack because someone won't stop flushing baby wipes or tampons or condoms, or
I support the condom one. I mean, those things.
Yeah, you put it in the trash
Yeah, you
like
can't
an
put it in the
animal.
landfill. What if a baby finds out? You got to flush it.
Oh.
The alligators love them. They
Yeah.
eat them up.
Well, Phillip, there's the thing called rent-a-car syndrome where you just drive around with a parking brake on and you're like, it stinks in here. You just don't care about other people's things.
Rent-a-car syndrome?
Yeah,
Did you make that up?
Well, I'm just
That's
saying.
fantastic.
It's just when you rent a house and then you get mad. You're like, I wish I owned a house. You know what? I hate the guy who owns this house
Yeah.
and I have to pay his.
Even I do that.
Like,
when we were in Colorado, I have a confession to make. When we were in
Yeah.
Colorado, the satellite radio of our rented 4Runner wasn't working. I punched it
yeah.
because it's rent-a-car syndrome.
Yeah. And then when you're in a hotel, you're spraying it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But you don't care. So people do that with the houses they rent, right?
yeah, I've only at the company in Orlando, I only gave a deposit back once. Other than that, we kept every one of them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That one person, though, they must have been good.
Well, he actually didn't. He didn't get the full deposit back, so he got to clean the oven, and that's a $120 charge. So he's pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
I'd be upset, too. It's an oven. It's going to get nasty anyway.
That's how they scam you. Everything.
$125 to clean an oven?
I remember when I left University Club, they charged, and we knew it because each individual room was a different lease or whatever.
Right.
But they charged me, the Grizz, and Pudge $30 for a light bulb on the back porch.
Yeah, specialty bulb.
They charged us all, and then it was $90. I was like, wait, because normally you wouldn't see everybody else's bill, but we all looked at it and we're like, they're charging. We didn't get our deposit, but they nickel and dime you everything because that's part of the business, like rent-a-cars.
It's a terrible business.
Yeah, it really is.
So, what's the best part about being a property manager? I imagine that when you get people that rent a house and never complain or call you or whatever, it's just you never have to do anything,
when you
right?
get those amazing tenants, then you might form a good relationship with them, and then it becomes easy, or no?
Well, that's the best tenant ever is the ones you forget about because they don't ever call you. They pay their rent on time. if there's a little problem, you fix it. You don't hear from them for months to a year. But that can also be scary because they've been told you that the roof caved in and their bathroom's completely flooded and you can see the sky.
Oh, you
like
know what?
that.
That's interesting. I never thought about the person that just like you that doesn't care. That like,
But they pay their rent though on time.
yeah. I mean, like he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
He's responsible, but he can also pee with like literally a hole over his head in the bathroom. The roof completely caved in. He'd be fine with that.
Dude, when I used to live in Heroin Alley,
You know it's true because he threw a dude on it.
and Goldenrod
Things
and
are getting serious.
Goldenrod and Curry Ford. I remember I had the most D-head property management. Like one time, like
I feel bad for him. I think they have to be that way.
the AC broke and caused mold all in the system, and it was giving me asthma. I went to the emergency room because I couldn't breathe one time. Like my neighbor had to drive me.
My God!
And then
You started COVID.
they opened it up and it was black mold all in the air handle. Like
That's terrible.
The
Probably
entire.
could have sued that property management.
I'm like, I'm a dumb college kid. I don't even care. But I called them. I was like,
Could've died.
it's in the middle of the summer too. I called them and I was like, it's hot, and they're like, we'll get to it. We're allowed 10 days. And then I was like, I can't live in this house for 10 days. Like, I can't turn on the AC. It's black mold. Like, and they're like 10 days. So
yeah, that's about right.
So I went to like a
one more day.
a
I get
hotel.
one more day.
I went to a hotel and whatever, and then I tried to like take that hotel bill off my rent,
Right.
and then they threatened to like sue me or evict me or whatever. Anyway, this whole fight, and I was like, I finally gave up. I was like, screw it. And then all of a sudden, there was termites. Like all of a sudden, like
Is that the swarm?
the swarm.
Oh my God,
and,
yes.
And then there was a small swarm, and then a radio listener came by. The guy that
He just texted me yesterday, dude. The magnets.
really
Brad.
yeah.
He just texted me yesterday. He's starting a history podcast.
Yeah.
He wanted some help.
So he came by and he's like, "Oh, you see this hole?" He's like, "That's a tester hole." Like some termites came out, but he's like, in the right humidity and temperature, a swarm of millions of termites will come out this house. He's like, this whole house is infested. And then I'm like, good, because I'm gonna leave in a month. So I didn't even tell him. I'm like, I hope this house falls down. I imagine a lot of renters get jaded and curmudgeoned like that and start doing bad stuff to the house. You ever had anybody pour cement down the toilets and that kind of thing?
Yeah. What's the worst vandals you've ever dealt with?
Probably the Orlando PD, because they went with a search warrant to this apartment and they suspected they were growing weed in the attic, and so they tore out all the ceiling. I'm talking about insulation, the whole ceiling. So when we went there,
Gotta be thorough.
everything.
Hold on, can you just
everything was
look?
No.
Hold on.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
I back
Hold
the
on.
blue. You gotta pull it all out. You know why? Because it's fun as
It's
hell
in
to
the
wreck
walls.
stuff.
Yeah, this is
you and me with a fire hose.
yeah, shooting someone's
Yeah.
homeless.
Okay, we have this
Yeah.
dream. It's called Tom and Dan Firefighters.
I knew the cops did this and the firefighters.
It's so fun. It's because it's fun.
Yeah, they're
It-
like,
Tom
they're going weed. They're like, pull the entire ceiling down.
Burn it down.
And
Like,
you could have just done a tester hole and stuck your head
no,
through it.
no. Gotta be thorough, man. These dealers are getting smart. And if you and I were firefighters, we would take the hose in there while the house is burning. We would walk in there. You're behind me. You're the big one.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
holding the hose.
Yeah, yeah.
We're rooted 3, 2, 1. I pull the crank, and we use the highest PSI we have to blow everybody's pictures and memories all off the walls.
Your TV.
Yeah, I'm blowing your TV off the wall.
Yeah,
I'm
your
blowing the
dishes.
cushions off your couch. If your dog's anywhere near there, I'll blow that dog right out the doggy door. Like, I'm blowing everything. I don't want
I'll
to hurt
shoot
the
the
dog,
roof.
but I'll shoot him out the door.
yeah, he's
he'll love
fine.
it. He loves it. Look at him. He's licking it.
Yeah. So they tore the entire ceiling down, and that was it. They left. They're like, all right, no drugs
No
here.
weed.
Lad, we did a good job.
You have no recourse.
Let's go to Sonny's.
No, they left like the search warrant, and then they said what they found. They found like some loose 22 bullets and a bunch of baggies with the corners ripped out of them. But they found no other drugs. They ripped their couch apart, their beds. They ripped the TVs in half. So they were in jail.
Wait a minute. They didn't,
How do you even do that? Sawzall right down the
and
center.
they didn't find anything?
Oh,
No, they found nothing. And then this happened on Thursday. Monday, we went to take possession. We go there. The windows are busted out. We're like, what happened? Go in. It's just decimated. So we were packing everything out. We're putting it in bags.
Terrible.
it is terrible.
We're putting it on the corner. And this is not the best neighborhood, so everything you put in the corner, people are taking. Well, they get out of jail in the afternoon, And they come there just livid, being like, "You threw all our stuff away." We were like, "We thought you abandoned. We didn't know what was going on." He's like, I'm gonna kill you all. We're like, "Oh, okay." So
Oh my God!
This is horrible. This
Hold
is a
on.
horrible.
They took him to
spiraling.
jail for some 22 bullets and a baggie.
I think there's probably something else, but
Yeah,
the
there's
police
gotta be.
reports they
Probably had
left
a
there
warrant.
just said that.
Yeah,
He probably had a warrant.
warrant.
But they get out, and he's threatening us, and he's just like in the parking lot being like, "I'm going to kill you." So I go home real quick, grab my pistol, and continue with work.
That'll make it better. Yeah.
My God, your job just gets. It sounds worse
Dude,
and worse.
I got anxiety.
This may be the worst job we've ever. I mean, what
Well,
worse
job
than
I don't want to
Wednesday.
say worse. Yeah, worse.
I
is-
mean, most stressful and hard. Like, but this is beyond manual
Wait a
labor.
minute, though. How much did he get paid?
Yeah, but
Is there financial
yeah, we're
reward
getting there.
here?
But
Yeah.
mentally, I would like to be on the record as saying mentally, this is
Yeah.
the only job that we've done. We've done this bit for what, 2 years? I would not do this job.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
You've
too
done
hard.
it for longer than 2 years.
3 years, 5 years. This is too hard. This job's
8
too
years.
hard.
Yep, it is too hard because now you're getting threatened. Your life is getting threatened.
Yeah.
You're grabbing a
Phillip,
pistol.
you're a real man.
Yeah, now you're going back. Now you're like in your mind, you could be shot today. Like, what's
you
worth
don't
that?
deserve that.
Yeah, you're not a cop. Like, also you're evicting families, and there's tampons and doo doo,
Yeah,
and then a lot.
it's everything I hate.
and then some of nothing, and then you're nervous that like, what if their roof caved in, and they don't? They're just crazy, and they don't tell me. So it all sounds
What do you
bad.
do? You go home and at the end of the night, and it's just you alone, and you fire up that China porno where she's got the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't talk
you
about it,
fire up
get it.
One Night in
Who
China.
was a wrestler in there? Was it?
no,
X-Pac.
Oh,
X-Pac.
X-Pac.
Well, no, she did a full blown porno. We were talking about this off the air, is why I brought it up. She did a full blown porno that Ghost of Manute Bull in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, said that they had another porno actor dress up like Mean Gene Oakland and give her the business. And,
I've never seen that
he
one.
says it's magnifique, so I'm going to have to find that.
Yeah.
Phillip, so how much money do you make for what seemingly could register as one of the top tier hardest jobs we've ever had?
So when I did the company in Orlando, we would get paid for lease signings. So you'd get 1 month's worth of rent for signing a lease. So that could be anywhere between $600 to $3,000 for the mansion we had in Dr. Phillips.
Nice.
And then you would get, I had money on the backside because I was the maintenance company. So for like a rehab job, I can get between $5,000 and $8,000, after paying everybody out. I probably make like $3,000 off of it. Plus, I was a realtor then. But just property management side, you can either get commission or you can get paid hourly. So it depends. Like the company I work for now is an international company. They have about 52,000 homes in the United States right now, and I make touching right into six figures.
Nice.
But back in Orlando, when I lived in Baldwin Park, I was definitely making about 125 a year.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
you're-
good. I
it's
mean,
good. And it sounds like you like it. It sounds like you're not really shaken by it. You've done it long enough to know how to navigate it.
and some people don't get awkward. Like Phillip, it sounds like you're a real man.
Calm, very.
You're calm. You don't
very
get
calm.
You don't get too awkward. You're not like me, where you try to avoid, conflict.
I just try to avoid all situations with people, right?
Yeah.
What do you call it? That's a
That's a
hermit.
hermit.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about hermits, right?
I mean, look, it's a nice life living just by myself in my brain.
yeah. Although hermits are stereotypically mad, right?
And little.
Not
little
necessarily.
mad.
Could just be scared.
And little.
Yeah,
we like
little
to,
mad and
we
scared.
like to hide it. All I need is a good box. That's all I need.
All right, Phillip. Well, thanks for telling us about your job, and don't get shot. But you said you manage higher end.
Yeah, you don't
houses,
have to, you don't have
right?
to do that anymore, right?
No, I mean, not for the meantime. I mean, the company I just left was my first dead body I found, but hopefully I don't have to do that again.
Oh,
well,
my
let's go
God.
through that.
Yeah.
Let's back up.
So, is it a scenario where the neighbors are like, something stinks, and
Well,
then
we'll
they-
check.
It stinks in here.
Well, it was stinking, and then, like, the stepdaughter came and was just like, I haven't heard from my dad for a while.
Oh, no, my God! Oh, my
Phillip,
God!
What the hell are you doing? Why did I go back in?
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah, and then it's just, I was like, do you want us to call the cops? She goes, I'll figure it out. 2 hours passed. She just vanished. So we go, all right, we're going to call the cops. Cops show up. They knock on the door. we go in. For some reason, I go in first. The cop's behind me, like I guess I'm the shield or something.
I'm scared.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
in front of her.
You're a human shield for sure.
Yeah.
It might
And
be
then
a
you
succubus.
peek around the corner, and he's just dead on the toilet.
Oh, not the toilet.
Stepdad dead on the toilet.
They
He had been there for a week and a half.
Oh,
so
man, that's
So he'd become the toilet.
in the paramedic industry, they call that a commode code. Seriously.
Really?
Yeah, that's-
Oh, man, look at this guy with
Why-
the lingo.
why do you know that?
He's been doing ride-alongs all week. I think he's making a job change.
Crystal actually wanted to become a paramedic and worked in, like.
But just for the codes.
She went through the 6-week course and did a ride-alongs and ambulances for like a
that.
semester. Yeah. It
A
was
commode code. What'd you guys do? Did you push him over? I'd have to poke him with a stick.
She said it was horrible.
Was,
She said
was,
it
he
was
poo-
horrible.
was he all poofed up?
No, he kind of looks like a mummy, but the worst smell was in the toilet. It just, whatever he had pushed out, I guess, and killed him,
Oh,
it
okay.
just festered.
Fantastic.
Come on, I
my
can't
God.
take it anymore. It's so bad. It's so bad.
He's laughing. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
He's like a psychopath.
Although, Philip, if you go too high end, I imagine you have to run in with a bunch of Karens, like
Yeah, a
rich
bunch of pee-pee dogs everywhere.
rich white ladies complaining about like the light on their dishwasher turned off, and like it still works, but the light
The
doesn't work.
marble in this apartment is dull.
Like, and you going and fixing every tiny problem. They're complaining about the AC is not cold enough.
Or they might get over there and their old man can't get it up, and you got to lay some
That
sweet
doesn't-
property management down.
So the higher end, you got to deal with rich white old ladies, right?
Yeah, I just fielded a call before you all called me about a lady screaming at the carpet cleaners because she said it smelled like dog in the house. We had just replaced the carpet, but she was flipping out so much that we wouldn't have had the brand new carpet cleaned for her. And I'm fielding a call going like, hey, she's screaming at our carpet cleaners right now saying that the smell is awful. And I was just like, well,
It's
just
awful.
take care of it. And she's just like, I can't breathe. She goes, my asthma. I was just like, there's no pet smell. They're brand new flooring the whole house. This is the worst experience I've ever had in my life. Like, okay.
I like that. You deserve that. You deserve all of that, Philip.
Philip, I gotta tell you, I'm with Daniel. This sounds like the worst.
It's hard,
job
man. This is a hard
for
job.
Me.
This is hard,
I
dude.
couldn't like all you deal with is mad.
Oh, I
people.
can do the Karens. I can do Karens all day long. I can't do family at a house.
God,
I can tell a Karen to eat my butt. I cannot handle the kid thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then if you tell her that, she'll never stop
Well,
bothering
you know,
you.
I'll nicely, you know how I'll directly talk to her and handle it.
She'll go and start hassling your boss until he starts yelling at you to get this lady off. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
right.
what happens, right? Like
Hard job,
She
though,
starts
man.
trying to find who the boss is because she's got all the
taking
time.
it up the ladder.
yeah. That's what happens. Anyway, all right, Philip. Be safe out there.
I appreciate it.
All right. Take it
right.
easy.
I'll leave the light on for you. Kind of how he ended it. Like Tom Bodette.
That is rough.
That is, that's probably the toughest one we've had.
Okay, because
That's the one. I've never said no to a job. That one is a big no.
Because you want some, we've kind of figured out over the years of doing this, you want some variety in your job, right? That's like part of the key to happiness.
Well,
Is
it's
not
kind of, we get that
mundane.
here,
Yeah.
right? We get that here. Different things to talk about.
Well, I don't got the same 12 topics, though.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
switch
yeah.
that up a
But
bit.
we rotate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You know, we're like a good mom with a good set menu of
Yeah.
dinners. You know, you do sloppy Joe, chili, spaghetti and meatballs. You do one night. You do like maybe some wraps, some citrus chicken wraps,
goulash.
goulash. That's another good one.
Stew.
Taco night.
Taco
Taco,
night.
yeah,
Yeah,
taco
so,
too.
yeah, but that's exactly what we do.
So, like, the worst would be the monotony of just stamping license plates in a factory or something. Or
I'm
just
okay
putting-
with that.
You know, it's like,
put the podcast in if they
Yeah,
allow. I'm okay with that.
all right.
Better than this last job.
Yeah.
Maybe-
I agree.
I would stamp anything. What do you want me? I'll make dildos. I'll make anything you want me to make over this last
So
job.
if it's super monotonous, maybe that's good because your mind is free. I guess maybe the next worst would be like a cubicle job where it's just day after day of TPS reports, like office space. You know, that kind of like monotonous,
Yeah.
nothing.
I put
like,
this
I did
job
that.
though goes in the same
Yeah, yeah,
category.
yeah.
It's like
6 years.
police or firefighter in that there is sadness attached to it. I don't want that.
Yeah, but at least with police
Yeah.
and firefighter, it feels like every once in a while you're helping people.
Oh, you are
know?
helping. Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah. No,
so-
you're
Not
helping.
always.
Yeah,
but
no, yeah,
sometimes.
but with the property manager, every time they call you, there's a problem, right?
Yeah,
So or an eviction or
Yeah,
something.
well, they're not going to call you and say like, "Hey, you replaced that bulb. Great job." You're not going to get that.
Now,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: I bet a lot of evictions you show up and everybody's gone because they gave the notice and they stapled the thing. Right? Very few times the family's actually there.
But when
right?
they are,
then it's real bad.
Yeah.
it's probably
Or
gut wrenching bad.
And the dead body, he only mentioned one, so that's happened once out of the 20 years he's
Well,
done
this
this.
one's a cool one though too. You know, you find guy blew his head off. That's not cool. Yeah, you find guy died of natural causes because he's taking a doo doo. That's hey, that can happen to anybody,
His
right?
daughter's upset about it.
Well,
and-
sure.
She disappeared. She
Yeah.
doesn't
and then
care.
it's disgusting. And then how do you you see
You think about
corpse.
that every time you sit on the toilet,
Yeah,
right?
you would.
Once you've seen
like,
that,
what if this is the time?
Yeah, like you sit down,
Sometimes
like-
I push too hard. And
Yeah.
it hurts my heart.
I know. Like, I think this time, I think that seeing a man. Oh, this is a bold statement. I think that seeing a man who is, died on the toilet
Yeah.
would change how I evacuate. It would change how
I
I
mean,
approach
how
it.
couldn't it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think it scars you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It gets in your brain, and then
Yeah.
you're like, "Can I even do this again?" I'd have to go to the hospital. Can you walk me through this first one? Walk me through this first one after seeing it, because I don't want to be him.
Yeah. It
Hold my hand.
Whew. Although probably the majority of your time is, you do these
Paperwork.
things. You do some paperwork. You go to this house. You have this house. You're putting
The
some
good ones are
flooring
when the
in.
lady's like, my wash is broken. And you go over there and you're looking at it and you're like, this is just a dumb old lady. She don't know how to work it. So you just show her how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
that's
that
a waste of time, though.
Well,
At least you're doing something,
Or it's
right?
the easy
Yeah,
part
but-
of your job. I would look
Right.
at it positively. It's the easy part of your job.
Well, I'd rather just sit at my at-home desk and scroll Facebook. I'm like, that's what everybody wants to do.
Oh,
Right?
I mean, you could do that in your car after you
Or-
leave her place. You sit in your car in front. You ever seen when people do that? I see
Yes.
this all the time with
I
people
hate
that
it.
do stuff at my house.
They're killing time.
They're working on my job. They come out and then they get in their van.
That's
None
when-
of our clients,
The
by the
worst
way.
is
Our
when
clients never
they
do
come
that.
to your house and they sit out in front of your house for 30 minutes, and you're like, "What are you doing?"
Well, you're doing paperwork.
Yeah, I'm
and-
setting it up.
And you got to
No,
kill.
they're not. They're scrolling Facebook.
You
Well,
don't know.
Yeah. You got to kill some time in between jobs. Like,
Yeah.
what are you? I remember this kid came in Champs, and he was a go-getter, hard-working young kid.
Elbow grease.
And
I
he
hate
started
those guys.
working hard, like putting up the shoes fast. I was like, whoa,
Slow down, buddy.
What are you doing? Like, this is a run out the clock scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can't show them that we can get this work done in half a day.
Yeah.
You're crazy, because then they're going to expect that. And that's what happened in Home Depot, by the way. I always done like manual labor jobs. But as soon as like one time the crew, we got like some sort of motivation or morale. We're like, let's see how many pallets we can do tonight.
Oh man, I used to be that guy.
And then we're like,
you
we're
beat that out of me. By the
huffing
way.
it.
I
We're-
used to be that guy.
Well, because we're putting up the Hampton Bay fans fast. I'm putting
Yeah.
the nuts away.
I'm
And-
a Hampton Bay man, over hunter.
And then that week, like the manager's like, "Man, I'm so proud of you guys. You beat your record for last week.
Pizza party.
They're-
You guys are
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
fan of how
Yes.
you put out fans.
Pizzas on Bob." His name was Bob. He just slept there all night. And then
Who wants flippers?
And then the next week, what we did the week before, that was what was expected the next week.
Then
and
you-
then,
yeah.
and then I was
You
like,
showed them you could do
yourselves.
it.
and then
Yeah.
I was like, and then we were busting our
And
ass.
for what? For pizza. Not for any more pay. For pizza. Who cares?
And we were running short because we busted our ass. We didn't want to do that again. And then we got yelled at every time we were short of that first week
Yeah.
that we busted our ass. And then that's when I was like, well, screw
I
this.
figured that out.
What is it? What's working hard do
Yeah,
for us?
I figured
Nothing.
that out last night. That like you got to be smart about how you work smarter, not harder. You know that old
Yeah.
phrase. I was watching Dancing with the Stars last night with my wife because a Peloton instructor, Cody Rigsby,
Yeah.
is one of the contestants on Dancing with the Stars. So
Yeah.
I'm watching to support that guy. Well, his partner actually has COVID, so he didn't get to dance last night.
His dance partner or his life partner?
His dance partner.
Oh.
Yeah, his dance partner got COVID. Cheryl Burke, the famous one.
Okay.
Yeah, she's super famous. Well, anyway, so that's not what I wanted to talk about. Like, I was watching this show, and the lead judge, he said, the key to this competition is just to every week just to do a little bit better than you did the week before, and you will win. And he's 100% right. It's kind of like what you said about like the job. You don't want to instantly blow it out of the water.
Exactly, yeah.
You want to
Time it out.
You want to time it out. You want to do a little bit, and then the next week maybe or do the same, or maybe just a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah.
And then you let it ride a little bit, and then you raise it just a little bit.
It's a
But always under.
it's a
what you
bad
can do.
system because
Well, it's bad for the company, but it's not bad for you.
no, of course, yeah,
It's good for you, and we need to start being selfish.
Yeah, because you
Because the world is not selfish. I'm joking.
you realize
Well, the
that,
companies are selfish, so
Oh, yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
all you're gonna get is a pizza party at the end of the day if you bust your ass. So
100%.
screw that.
yeah, and the other
I can
side
buy
of
my
it,
own pizza.
Yeah.
what's the company going to do? Like they have stuff built into place and things that they have to do, and they're like their management has quotas that they have to cover. They can't just start paying everybody based on how they do. I mean, maybe every company should have some incentive bonus structure built in because that would motivate people
It
more.
would.
You know what I'm saying? Like I would definitely be more motivated if we hit our pallet numbers at the end of the week
Right.
and we all got, an extra $200 in our paycheck.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Well,
they
money
can probably
motivates people.
figure that out.
I
And
mean,
like,
some
it's worth it
companies
for us
used to
yeah.
do that, though, and then companies got uber cheap.
Are they going to start doing it again now?
Yeah.
Because they have to.
I kind of feel like back in the late 90s and early 2000s when I first started getting into this business, the incentives that were given to me, even as an intern, were more monetary and good. We were less about the pizza party and the, hey, we're having an ice cream
Yeah.
social or free beers down on the third floor. It was less about that. It was more about, hey, you guys did a great
Bonuses
job.
or whatever.
Here's $100.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, it's not tons, but give me $100 now. I'm a happy boy. Thank you for give me $50. I'm a happy boy.
Yeah. The problem is when the bonuses, especially like in radio, when they come from BS ratings, and you're like, wait a minute, no matter what I do, it's all happenstance what the ratings are going to be.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it doesn't matter if I'm working hard or nothing because it's all like basically a lotto.
Almost like predetermined, like.
Or just luck or happenstance, whoever gets the meter or whatever. So it's not based on, what you do.
No.
Like other jobs, like if I do this many pallets or work this
Yeah.
hard, then I get paid that much. It shouldn't all be like that. But anyway.
100%. Let's take a little break. We'll come back with more A Corporate Time after this. Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
So I saw that Dog the Bounty Hunter is looking for this kid now.
How old is old
Dog the Bounty Hunter?
is he my age?
No, he's older. No, he's got to be 60.
3.
Yeah, I was about to say 3. I'll go.
Take 63.
I'll take a younger 62 because the smoking
Yeah, you
aged
probably.
him.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I think you're right. I think you
what
edged
are you-
me out.
68.
Oh, older.
He's almost 70.
You know what? He looks good.
For
Oh, you switched it around?
No,
Okay.
for
Did
60,
he quit smoking?
No, hell, are you crazy?
Well, maybe he started like vaping.
How does somebody that lives in Hawaii look that Florida? How does
Right.
he do that?
Well, he was born in Denver.
Yeah,
He does not look Colorado.
No, he does not.
I claim him as ours.
Colorado
He looks
is just
Florida.
mountain Florida, though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like crossover between Florida and
God.
Colorado. That's why I'm attracted
If
to it.
only
I'm
Mountain
trash.
Dew made Mountain Florida.
I know. Yeah, I'm trash. And then we dream about Hawaii. So it's like you go to Florida, you're like mountains, and then you're in the mountains, you're like Hawaii because we're dumb.
Is that the
rednecks.
transition?
Yeah.
So it's
Actually,
hot.
he went Denver, Texas, Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that checks
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Texas got him ready for Hawaii.
Yeah. So Dog the Bounty Hunter shows up at these the parents' house, knocks on the door for like obviously just to make
Does he do
headlines.
that move
right?
where he's like, "I'm sorry, ma'am"? You know
And
how
they
like
just
where
called-
he's all
no, they
polite.
called
Well,
the
no,
cops
yeah,
in.
they called 911.
Yeah.
They didn't answer the door.
Why'd they call 911? It's Dog the Bounty Hunter. Let him in.
They didn't want him on their
It's
property.
TV's Dog the Bounty Hunter, and you don't want to let him in?
No.
Oh, that's right. That's because you're helping your son get away.
Well,
He's already gone.
That's why you didn't want. That's why you didn't want Dog in there because you thought he'd use his elbow grease and his know-how. He'd put a snake boot on your neck and get you to talk.
all the cops have to be mad as hell.
It's just a
That's-
distraction, too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, can you just let
Get outta
the
here.
authorities actually
Yeah.
do
Does it
what
hurt
they're
the case?
supposed to
You
do?
think having Dog there?
It gives it the type of publicity that they don't want, and the cops are just like, "This is serious. Someone's life has been taken.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here, you idiot!"
Okay, all right.
That's what
all
they're
right,
saying.
Okay,
Yes.
For
yes,
sure, they're
yes.
saying that. I'm like, I'll bet almost any amount of money
So-
that the majority of cops are saying, Get the hell out
And
of here,
Dog
you
has,
idiot.
has claimed that he got a tip.
Can we call him by his God-given name, Dwayne Chapman?
Dwayne Chapman has claimed that a tipster has pointed him to the Fort De Soto Park, 75 miles away from Laundrie's home, which is not where the police are searching. And so now, because of that, the media is harassing the authorities, and the authorities had to come out and make a statement saying that, no, we are not, there's
nothing,
no
yeah.
reason for us to investigate there at this time.
Okay.
We are unaware of any confirmed sightings of him there.
Let's take the horribleness of this
Yeah.
and not, let's just set it aside for a quick second, okay? It would be so awesome, though, if he got it before the cops did, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
For story-wise.
Okay, I'm taking the horrible part away.
Story-wise, yes.
I'm not denying
Have
the fact that
we-
this is a terrible story. I'm not denying the fact that somebody didn't know.
Has everyone forgiven Mr. Chapman for his racism?
No. I'm not talking about forgiving. You're
I
making
know,
it,
but I'm just saying,
make
like,
it tiny.
I feel like everybody is like rooting for Dog the Bounty Hunter, and I'm like, when did we flip back to he's cool?
Not at all rooting for him. Just it's funnier.
It is funnier.
Yeah, it's
If
just
the
funnier.
FBI is involved,
Yeah.
and if
Right.
Dwayne Chapman can find
Yes.
this guy, and the FBI cannot, that is a problem.
Well, yeah, but I would bet against that. Although,
Right.
like Daniel said, would be hilarious to watch. Also, I mean, we don't even know how mad anybody even was when he screamed the N-word a bunch of times over the phone because, like I made the joke about, I assumed he said the N-word. He's wearing a costume of a person that says the N-word.
Yeah.
So when he said it, I was like, yep, that's about right.
I mean, before Spirit named that bounty hunter, it was named racist
Yeah.
in the package.
Yeah, did anybody look at Dog the Bounty Hunter and assume that he was a loving...
And he got remarried, right?
Yeah,
Well,
he did.
Is it that Moon Glory?
Moonjet, Tony Moonjet.
No, the lady he was dating. Remember when he was on Dr. Phil?
It's like Moonstar, yeah, or something
Look, I'm
ridiculous,
sorry.
stupid.
I'm fascinated with Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm sorry.
It's just some white trash bounty hunter. Like, you know, like
He's a
it's
POS bounty hunter.
Francie Frayne.
Francie Frayne? I think that's
What a name.
I think that's Moonstar. Moon Angel.
Man,
She goes by Moon Angel, I believe.
Okay.
I got off TikTok for a while, and then I got back on.
You can't get off of it,
And
right? You're
I-
addicted to it.
Well, I think it screwed up my algorithm.
I've been in there a lot lately. What are you getting?
Well, now I'm getting conspiracy talk.
That's
Been
not
talking to
me.
me too long.
Yeah,
Have
that's
you seen
Sam.
that?
That'd be Sam. That's not me.
Well, so some of the TikTok conspiracy theories are the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Well, yeah.
But I look at it and I'm watching the person explain what they think happened or whatever. With like one of them was like the condo collapse and like that, and then I'm like, are they doing it because they know it's gonna get some sort of attention, or are they doing it because they believe that's the you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wonder if is it pure entertainment or are they legitimately
That could
believe
go
this?
either way.
It can.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that part out because that makes a difference to me whether I think it's stupid or smart.
Okay.
Because it's smart to do some thing that gets a lot of even hate because you're getting attention in social media.
I don't think.
But if they believe it, it's stupid.
I don't think Dog did this for attention. I think that in his heart, he believes that he is one of the best bounty hunters, and he believes that he can actually help out, and that's his calling from God.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think he'd
I
say
do
that.
not
Yeah.
believe
I
that,
think he
but-
would say his calling from God
Yeah,
is
yeah.
to use his talents as a bounty hunter to help this poor girl get their family get some relief, right? Get some closure. And so I believe that. I don't believe he's doing it
But he knows the media.
Now,
I mean, God, how
he
long is
also
that?
could
Is
be-
that show still on?
Oh, yeah.
I don't even
It's just
know.
a different. Well, it morphed.
Is it on the internet or whatever?
After the scandal, it went to it went off TV. Then it went to a different network, and then there was a new version right before Beth passed away. God bless her. It was Dog and Beth Save Your Bounty Company, your bail bonds.
Oh,
so they would go
it was
around
like
the country
bar rehab.
like bar rescue,
Oh, my God.
and they'd go around and they'd go to Billy's bonds, and then they'd say you're doing it all wrong. You got to give them the cigarette. You got to crush the ice pipe.
Yeah.
You got to have and they would do that. I never really watched an episode of it because I think I've aged out of it a little bit. It's more of a 31, 32-year-olds type of television. I'm 45. I'm an adult.
How much money did he make?
Tons.
What do you think?
I mean, enough to live on the water in Hawaii, so there's a clue.
But off the TV show, because it ran for like
I
10
think he's
years.
worth,
right?
I think
like
he's
a
worth
decade.
like $50 million or something.
You think that much?
I don't know. At least 10, right?
yeah.
At least $10 million.
At least
he's got
10.
stupid money. He's got enough money to have a snake around his neck.
Yeah. He's got stupid money.
And live in
what does
Hawaii.
it say his net worth?
$6 million. It says.
Oh, I was wrong. I was wrong.
Well,
Man, cigarettes are expensive, though.
He squandered a lot.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
There
he gave
was-
a lot away.
You know,
of-
still $6 million is
That's
pretty
not
good.
bad. That is not
you
bad
know,
at all.
for him, right?
His Dog the Bounty Hunter show debuted on A&E in 2004.
It seemed like it was longer than that, right? Like it seemed like it was the late 90s.
He's so 90s.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
My
Well,
God.
because
2004 is not that far from 90.
Well,
true,
we were
yeah.
still 90-ing in the early
Yeah,
2000s.
yeah.
I mean, that's it. The bleed over there is apparent.
Yeah.
Wow, that is. I don't know why I'm fascinated by him. I think it is the trash factor of him being pure trash, and I would like to see him find the guy. This guy.
We need to talk to a bounty hunter for Weird Job Wednesday and find out what like has changed, because for sure, like nowadays, like even with the car repo business, most cars, I believe, now have some sort of like even the buy here, pay here lots install them like a low jack system or GPS, so that when they stop making payments, they know exactly where the car is. They just go get it and take it back, right? I mean, it's way easier than the way they used to do it, which was
Can't you
track.
uninstall that? Or do they
hide
make it
it
a
in-
term? Do they make it a term of the contract?
They probably do, or if it turns off, then they'll go and make sure you have it. I don't know, as long as you're making the payment, maybe you have to have that on, or they hide it in there. I have no idea. But towards the end of my repo career, that's what they were starting to do, and I was like, wow, this is easy. And I'm like, it seems like they'll all do this because all this work you're doing tracking down one car. It seems like a lot of, they'll just go pick it up, and the buy here, pay here lots will just send their, lackey to go pick up the car instead of pay you $300 a car, because that's what the repo guys will get paid.
Brock BDM in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. You can watch our live stream every single day, Orlando's strongest stream. He says it's in the contract, and you usually have to pay for the tracker.
Okay, yeah.
He says lots of buy here, pay here.
Yeah. Which, by the way, the offices in those buy here, pay here lots, oh, man.
I've never understood the buy here, pay. Like, even hearing that, I was like, as a kid, to be like, buy here, pay here. I was like, yeah, of course. Because the car's there. What do you expect me to go? Down the street?
Dude, it's all it is like the car's already paid for, and they just, I say pray, but it's
you're right.
It's a business.
No, they did.
But it's a business model like these.
They did on a girl I dated. Remember that VW she had? They welded the whole center of it together.
Super poor, like bad at life people. I was there one day, and they, they come in. The car's already paid for. They know when they buy the car, it's like $1,500 down and like $300 a month. Eventually they'll stop paying. They'll just go repo it. And they have to pay $300 to get it back. And then
that's the game.
They just turn it around, and they'll turn the same Buick LeSabre around. To hopefully 8 different people until they get every drop out of the money. And that Buick LeSabre made them $48,000 over the 10 years or whatever. That's it. Bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So I want to tell you guys about Sofa and Suds.
Please. I'm excited, man.
It's November 14th. We're doing it a week earlier than normal. And I know we didn't do it last year, obviously, because of COVID. But this year we're doing November 14th, same as always, couch races. We got recliner races, bunch of food trucks, our merch tent, obviously.
Yummy beers will be out
West
there.
End, Cellar City. It's all outdoors, and
our buddy Mike Smith, always fun to work with that guy when he puts together these huge Sanford shindigs. We always like to be out there and hang out with you guys.
Free, family friendly.
It is family friendly. In fact, a lot of families look forward to this event. Most of the people that I know that live in Orlando that come to Sanford for one event, it would either be Sofa and Suds or like Pints and Paws, like one of those quintessential big, maybe even the Hurricane Party, but this is one of the big 3. It's Sofa and Suds, and we would love to see you out there.
Yeah, me and Daniel are going to host it, so we're basically up on stage all day.
14th.
Hosting everything, so it's a good time.
Right, 14th?
Yep,
yes.
November 14th.
There you go. Let's do email voicemail. Let's start with an email, Sam.
All right, this is a topic you guys have asked what the listeners want. And apparently they do not want Nerd Jock.
Man, are we still on this?
Hold on, I got an email from someone today
that wants it.
that
I
says,
think they're trolling.
Are they trolling this person?
Yeah, it's kind of like when I said I hope Doug the Bounty Hunter found
Brian Laundrie.
Yeah, I don't really hope that because I want this to go well for the case.
Well, whoever finds him, it'll go. I mean, as long as someone finds him.
Well, right,
This one says, it's taken me a year to finally send this email. Please, for the love of God, stop Nerd Jock. And it's not why you might think. It's because I do enjoy EJ, but it's very clear that neither of you have any interest in the nerd side.
That's not true.
And it's just fodder to pick on EJ.
That's not true.
Now, I'm on board with picking on EJ, but it's rarely that. Now, it's just crapping all over the nerd stuff, which is just pointless.
Sometimes.
The jock stuff is talked about every week like it matters, and it's the same stuff every week because it is sports, and there's not much to it, and there's no point during the sports portion is anyone crapping all over anybody
but it's
or
not
any part of
multiple
it.
universes.
Mad nerd here.
Yeah.
Which basically makes the segment just jock, since it's just a bunch of dudes talking about sports
I hate muscles.
and then crapping on nerds. Don't get me wrong, it's great when it's funny, but it's too much work to try and make it funny when you legitimately do not care about the topic or listeners that might want to hear about this topic.
That's not true. We don't not care about nerd stuff. It's just that EJ traditionally just goes for dumb Marvel crap. There's a lot of nerd stuff out there, guys, that doesn't revolve around superheroes.
Or Pokemon,
Yeah, there's a lot of nerd stuff out there.
I blame
man.
EJ on that.
I blame EJ on this one, too.
So he's your fellow nerd because he is a nerd. Like, he knows a lot about the characters.
But does he? Because when we ask him questions, he doesn't seem to know what we're asking.
He doesn't prepare. Let's just call it what it is. Let's be honest. He doesn't prepare. He knows a lot about it, but when you put him on the spot, he doesn't know where to go. He freaks out a little bit.
I got an email.
Uh-oh.
Now, this could be from EJ because the name
All right.
the name is I'll say the whole thing. Chris Willie. he says, I only listen to ACT for Nerd Jock. And that's
There's
it.
no way.
That's a
It's
fake
a troll.
email, right?
That's a troll. No,
All
it's
right.
not fake. That guy emails us, but that's a troll.
Oh, okay.
He's screwing around.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
he's
okay.
trying to make me laugh.
Oh, okay.
That's a
So-
coffee joke. He's
so
like, Daniel's sitting at his computer. Let me toss a joke at him.
Yeah, I was going to tell him, I'm like, you got one.
Yeah.
We can build on that.
No,
if you get one, you get two.
Here's the thing. People don't dislike EJ. They dislike the bit.
Yes.
There's a difference there. EJ's a nice guy. Everybody likes EJ. He's a sweet guy, right?
Yeah.
I love him. He's a friend of the show. He's family to the show. He's been one of our he's like he's the official historian of the show. He knows more about our show than any other person we know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. People don't hate him. They just want him to prepare for his bit a little bit more. There's a difference.
Maybe we turn it just into Jock, and then, but the nerd.
I like the nerd part.
I like
do
the nerd
him.
better than the jock. Because
Yeah,
again,
I do too.
The sports is kind of fleeting, right?
It is, and we blend it in, throughout the regular show most of the time.
That's
We
true.
always have a little bit of football, a little bit of Orlando City going on.
You know what it is? I think EJ is. I mean, obviously, this all goes back to his being his fault. He's presenting it wrong because he's telling us stories that are aggravating to us, and maybe he thinks that that's what he needs to do. Like he tells us about
all right.
some subsequent Marvel character that's in a different universe.
Yeah, there's a new variant of Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, God.
And then we get mad about it, like we're like, stop doing this, and then
we're just we yell stop. And
yeah. So maybe he needs to
The
present
approach
us,
is different. Should be different.
like present to us.
BDMX Con in our Twitch chat room says EJ is great. Nerd Jock makes me miss prison
Well, what?
All right.
when I had no access to podcasts. That's that is well said and cutting.
Yeah. So
Cutting.
if there's no other entertainment available, then Nerd Jock's for you. If it's the only thing you got, you'll enjoy it. Like if
Lately I've been kind of enjoying silence. I'm into that now. Like I can kind of sit with my thoughts now. I like it. All right, first email, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, we did a
Oh,
first
was that
email.
the second?
already.
Hold on, let me get a voicemail then.
Okay.
Sorry.
Or I can.
we're gonna talk to
We
EJ.
are. Are we going to address any of this?
Yeah.
Or
Oh
we
yeah.
just go-
He's
Oh.
in the chat right now
Oh,
saying
yeah.
he's got a Pokemon heavy,
I mean,
semi-prepared
he's trolling,
segment.
right? He's like he's listening to what people say about the bit, and what are you going to lean in to make it bad? I don't think that's the proper play.
Yeah, maybe he can't. Maybe it's like it's like your coach at UM is like, play like Shockey. Why can't you? Like he can't. Like
Doing his best.
I'm not good.
yeah. Like he's doing his absolute best. Like there's.
I don't believe that. No, he's smarter than that.
There's
All he needs to do is prepare less stories. This is what I'd say less stories.
Yeah.
He tries to. You need
Less
3
stories,
nerd,
more details.
3 nerd, 3 jock. That's all you need. And we'll go heavy on it. We'll do the lifting. You just prepare hard on 3 and 3.
Yeah, just read the whole story.
Well, not read it verbatim. You gotta do what Ross does. Give Ross a massive compliment. Here's what Ross does. Ross is he's got reps. Ross will read the story all the way through before he gets on the air, and then when he gets on the air, he's ready to paraphrase.
Yeah.
And he will paraphrase his ass off, and he's really good at it. He's kind of a bad comparison because he is really good at it. But EJ should, just read the whole story, paraphrase it, you'll be ready to go. Let's try this one. This guy's kind of mad at you because you said that nobody else has hit a bird other than Randy Johnson, and then you put like a bounty on it and said you give prizes away like you always do.
I saw the BDM. He said, "Where's my prize? I'm going to give him a prize."
Well, he called in too.
Right.
He's mad.
Hey guys, Dave Winfield killed a bird from the outfield in 1983 with a thrown baseball. What do I win?
I like that guy's voice. He's
Dave Winfield killed the bird.
That guy's awesome.
How did you know that? But also, let's look it up to verify.
All
and
right.
if
what are you going to give him?
Well, I'll give him a,
Gabriel a plant?
No. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess yeah.
Give him a plant.
I'll give him a plant.
Dude, my plants are awesome now.
He doesn't sound like a plant man. Although I'm stereotyping because I probably don't sound like a plant man. And
Andrea has a bone to pick with you.
What?
That plant you gave us, what'd you give us, a Monstera?
No, I gave you a prayer plant.
Prayer plant.
Yeah.
We have two prayer plants. We had the one that we got from the nursery prayer plant, and then we had your prayer plant. Your prayer plant got infected with those. Remember that video you did outside of your house where there was a human skull and it had flies all over it?
Oh, the fungus?
We had it in the plant, and then our whole house started getting turd flies everywhere.
Oh, no.
And it was your plant, and my wife's like, Tom's plant has turd flies.
No, hold on,
and she had to run it outside. The other one's perfectly fine.
Hold on.
Uninfected.
No,
yeah, I was going to wait and bring this up on Friday, but she was
Is it white flies?
livid. No, black, brown flies.
No.
Huge. I sucked one in my mouth. It danced on my tongue.
Oh.
It was horrifying.
That's not going to get... Like,
They're everywhere, too. We had to take
Stinkhorn?
It looked like the stinkhorn.
No, but it was far away. Well, I guess the stinkhorn...
They were everywhere, dude.
Spores can get everywhere.
So Dave Winfield was a New York Yankees outfielder, and during he threw a warm-up ball in the middle of the 5th inning that struck and killed a seagull.
That counts. That counts.
It does count, but was it during the game?
I thought the challenge, and I could be wrong, I thought the challenge was non-baseball.
Well, another gentleman on the BDM page sent me a golf video of a golfer hitting a bird.
Okay.
Oh, that's worse.
And so I was going to give him a prize. I thought
that's
this was
like a bullet.
But the warm-up pitch during a baseball game, like I think I said during any game professionally.
They sent this.
I think you did.
Yeah,
They sent this seagull to get an autopsy done, and like got the police involved. This was in 1983.
They sent that seagull to the autopsy. What did it die?
Like,
Fentanyl? It died of fentanyl.
We understand he got a hard impact with a baseball. This was a lot of work for nothing in 1983.
Yeah, we know how it died.
Yeah, we get hit with a baseball.
Watch this. I'll hit your dog with a baseball and he'll kill it.
Yeah.
I don't think I
do I have to give away two prizes?
I'm too weak to. If I threw a baseball at any dog, even pee-pee dogs, couldn't kill it. I'm too weak.
So it wasn't during the ball wasn't in play. It was a warm up.
Right.
But I still say that's the game, dude. They're playing the game. They're out there doing
It was
the
during
thing.
the inning.
Give him a
I don't
plant.
know. You got to get tighter on the rules of your
Yeah,
challenges
I know,
here.
I
Give
know.
him a plant.
It's like a Bovada underneath. You put an asterisk.
Right.
It
Oh,
I
says,
hate
like,
the asterisk.
Game has to start for like this player has to start for this prop to even it's like Tebow. All my prop Tebows on like under everything.
Oh, you still had some.
I bet every Tebow under I could bet. I bet when they started coming out with them because I was like, this guy's never started.
Yeah,
and
I
then,
don't blame you.
And then they cut him from the team. And then I looked in the fine print. It's like he had to start for any of the bets to be valid. They had, they refunded me. But
Canadian Josh says he killed a Canadian goose one time. All right, that's cool.
yeah.
You don't mess with Canadian gooses.
I don't think I throw that in the chat, but
See the golf ball.
worse. Or quicker death.
Also,
Quicker death because it's going way faster.
there's no way to really that's totally random. The pitcher or the outfielder could have seen the seagull coming and thrown it in the general vicinity of the seagull.
And maybe that's why there was a police investigation, like he did it on purpose.
Ooh, does it count if my dad was using my Red Ryder BB gun to cut carpenter bees in half? Does
no,
that
that's
count?
fine. That's fine. You could.
But that's the same sort of vibe, right? You're doing it on purpose. You don't want it to be on purpose.
No, it's got to be an accident.
My
right?
dad was doing it on purpose.
you could torture insects and.
Wow.
He didn't torture him. He cut him in half at the
Hot
beginning.
take.
Yeah. No, I'm just
Shot him
saying,
out of the sky.
There will be a point, just based on Samantha's reaction, that will be illegal, and that's when I'll be old like my pop-up, and I'll be like, God damn! And they'll be like, this racist old man hates bees. And I'm like, no, it shouldn't be illegal.
I just want
you
don't want anybody taking my ability to kill him away.
Yeah, like you tie.
Well, Concrete Toad said it was him that posted the golf video, so you owe Concrete Mike a plant, something.
He's not a plant guy.
Yeah, he's sensitive.
Effing. Oh no, he's sensitive.
He's sensitive because I remember that voicemail. I don't know if he wants to bring it up, but he was very sad about your mom.
Yeah,
and,
well, he's a good man. Yeah,
it was
a lot of people
sensitive.
I got a lot of those messages. His was the only one that I deemed worthy because the character of the show. But yeah, I got a lot of personal messages.
I mean, but I didn't even
No.
was that emotional. You know,
I didn't either. I was like finally.
Like did I
No,
even
I'm kidding.
give you a hug?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
All right.
did.
All right. That's good. I
you did.
wrote that down. I was like,
We
give
also-
Daniel
Make
a
sure
hug.
to hug him.
Yeah. And then I got a stone stiff hug.
Yeah. And then you walked around the glory hole wall.
I counted 2 Mississippis because
And
I
then
know that's what
I was
humans do.
putting fresh duct tape on the hole. Got to put the duct tape on there.
Did you embrace him and let him cry in your chest?
No,
like in
no,
Fight
no,
Club?
You know, it's weird. A lot of
If
people don't
someone
know
cries-
this.
yeah.
A lot of people that don't watch the stream, Orlando's Strongest stream, twitch.tv/Tomedy and live, they don't know what we look like. You're only listening to this on the radio. When I hug Tom, my nose is right in his genitals. I'm so small.
When someone cries in
I
front of
hug
me,
you like a 5-year-old.
I freeze and I can't do nothing.
But your wife cries in front of you all the time.
Yeah, but I'm used to that. But I still freeze.
What about when your sons cry? When Maisie cries, I freeze.
I'm like, my wife runs over. And I'm more like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, like you're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like,
easier to. I do that
because
too.
I'm like, what are you crying about? Like, really? There's nothing. Whatever it is a small matter. Like, if you hurt yourself, I'm like, oh, like
Yeah.
Max didn't even cry when he broke his collarbone.
Well, he's like you.
Yeah. Then he just went for days with it broken.
You both did that.
And then
Sometimes you do it playing with your daddy football. Sometimes you do
Tough.
it playing for the Predators football. You break your collarbone, and is he gonna have the same?
No, I didn't. Mine was an AC joint separation. His was a break. So he's got a little. You could tell there's a bump there,
Interesting.
but not like it doesn't stick up. Anyway,
Next email.
All right. It says, on a show sometime back, you discussed Butler's rusticles, his big bag of Titanic rust. I'm currently watching TV, and they just mentioned rusticles. Stalactites of wrought iron bleeding from ships sunk at great depths. Robert Ballard, the guy who found the Titanic, actually named them. So Titanic rusticles are a thing. The question I propose is, are Butler's rusticles real and authentic? My mom bought a piece of the Berlin Wall from a bin in the local grocery store. It was Cowtown, Michigan, circa 1991. I'm pretty sure she has a piece of graffiti concrete trash from a sidewalk down the road.
How would anybody know?
Where's
though?
the
They'd
proof,
have to test
Butler?
it, right?
Yeah, I guess he's asking, like, how do we prove that these
Well,
rusticles...
he can't even find the damn rusticles.
Yeah.
His
Yeah, well,
wife
now
threw
I
them
think
out.
they're gone.
yeah, for sure. Like he didn't even think they were real because
I think he did at first.
Yeah, but then he didn't even care enough to figure out where they were or like keep them.
Sometimes it's better just to be ignorant to things, right? It's easier to just be like, yeah, they're rusticles. I'm just going to go with it.
The only piece of anything that kind of that is like this was
We had it.
when they redid the original. I guess it wasn't the original, but it was one from whatever the last time.
I
they
would
did
say it was from the golden era of racing. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
like from the
probably
60s or 70s.
I would say from like the 70s on, because they always have to go in and check it. But yeah,
Yeah, and they probably put more asphalt on top of it,
they do.
and then so when they chipped it all up to redo it from the bottom up,
it was the literally the Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah, we got a piece of the Daytona International Speedway.
They were big. They were like bricks.
Yeah, I mounted. This is how redneck I am. I mounted the piece that I got to a plaque to give to my father-in-law.
That's cool.
Which
People love NASCAR, man.
pretty sure he punted straight in the trash. I have no idea, but he said he was going to hang it up in his office. But then I was like, I think his business associates are gonna clown him or something. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll make fun of him. Like, what is that? A piece of the road?
Yeah.
Your father, your gay son-in-law gave you. I wear the bear suit.
You just started talking about NASCAR. There has to have been in the history of auto racing an animal that was struck by a auto. I'm telling you, that's going to be the one. We just figured it out in natural conversation. The sport
a mouse or something.
The sport that kills the most animals has to be racing. It has to be.
I don't know. You think if it's so loud that maybe animals wouldn't come around the track.
Yeah, it is super
Yeah,
loud.
but those Karens, they bring their pee-pee dogs to the center of in the infield. There's 1,000 pee-pee dogs.
I don't think a pee-pee dog could run out there with the...
Oh, they're capable. Pee-pee dogs can go anywhere, dude. Pee-pee dogs are
Hot off the presses, the director of NASCAR's Cup Series is facing animal cruelty charges as of last month.
Oh, my God, we figured it out.
For what?
We broke the case.
I don't know. I had not
For
heard of this, so now I have to
releasing
look
pee-pee dogs
into
on
it.
the track.
Yeah, you're right. An animal has to have been struck
A
at one point.
turtle. Turtles can't hear, right? They can't hear the race cars.
They'll get confused and maybe walk. Squished.
Tony Stewart comes by and blows your shell off.
Yeah, for sure, an animal's been killed, right?
Baja
Over the history.
racing. What about that?
Oh,
When they're,
Baja racing.
They're
For
running through deer.
Coyotes,
Yeah,
deer,
yeah.
they've been struck a lot. I mean, that probably happens every Baja 5,000 or whatever. Is it 500? I think it's 500.
BDMX Con is saying
Oh, man.
they've hit deer at Pocono.
Really?
Pocono, that's a California race, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's that one that's like all swirly dirly that Jeff Gordon used to dominate because he's not necessarily a one-turn only driver.
yeah.
I'm going to get some hate mail about that.
Anyway, what's the next voicemail?
Let's try... let's try this one. We got a lot of these about, this whole concept that you have about your one wheel, and you don't care what people think about your one wheel, but you're also curious as to why people don't ask you more about your one wheel. So there's like this dichotomy that you have that you're fighting internally where you want to be noticed, but you don't want to be noticed. Right?
I'm just curious to why they don't ask, because it seems like something you'd ask about, right? Because it's weird. It's like,
well, here, people are weighing in tons of voicemails about this.
Tom, you used to play this clip at your last year of the morning show.
Oh, this is different.
When you
Sorry.
said, hey, I don't care about this job anymore. I don't, just don't care about it. Famously of Jimmy's When You're With Your Wife flub. And my question in my mind was always, as I listened to your show more years after, why did he keep doing that? Isn't it awkward to sit there amongst your peers, so to speak, and listen to this clip that you've obviously played over and over and over again? Yeah, you say you didn't care and it was, you were just ready to get out of there. But at the same time, if you didn't care, then why would you not just play it every day? It had to already be awkward for you.
This is one of many of these people that weigh in on you saying you don't care about things.
yeah. So, it's like Aaron Rodgers. I'm like the Aaron Rodgers of radio.
Okay, I'm ready for this analogy.
So
I like that.
he's obviously
I'm Olivia Munn.
he's mad at the company he works for, right? Like he doesn't want to work there anymore. And he made it public. And he's like, I don't want to work for this company. I hate them. Like basically
Yeah,
said that
basically.
he hates the GM and he doesn't like
Not a fan.
the front office and wants out, right?
Yep.
But he's still playing as hard as he can because guess what? If he doesn't, then he looks bad, right? Then people are questioning his abilities and if he's still good anymore, right? So it was disadvantageous for me to go in and not be as funny as possible because then I had to write out a year.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, people are like, oh, he doesn't got it anymore. Like imagine if Aaron Rodgers started just losing and didn't care.
You can't lose your value.
And at the end of the year, it'd be like he's washed up. He's like Ben Roethlisberger. Like, he's like, he can't do it anymore. So it's better for you to try your hardest because I still wanted to be entertaining. And if I didn't care about my bit, I could just go in there and just do nothing. But who's that hurt? It hurts me, right? Nobody else. Like the company is like, well, obviously you don't want to work here. You're going to be out of here anyway. So they're just fire. Like I'll just be out, and then
well, we both had to do that. There was no way that we were because like you and I talked about it when we were going through the most tumultuous parts of that instance of starting the company and everything. There was a point where we would have conversations like, we just won't do anything. We just won't talk. It doesn't work like that.
No. Yeah, because you look bad.
Exactly.
And then the
listeners don't care what you're going through. They just want you to entertain them and be, do your job correctly.
We're like me and Daniel, all of us here, are in the purest, I guess, business form of entertainment, and the fact that, honestly, the BDMs, really, when it comes at first, but the overall listeners are our bosses. So if we don't do a good job, we're going to have less listeners, and less listeners, less money.
Yeah.
And then, that's how, and then, so that's how it works. We don't have a corporation telling us that we're, our ratings are down, or we have to do this, that, or you don't have any more. The proof is in the listener. And if the BDMs and listeners are there, we can continue to do this. And once they're not there, or that goes away, then that's it. And then it's up to us. So we have to work as hard as we can to be as entertaining as possible, because the listeners are our bosses.
Indeed.
And that's how it should be for everybody, because that will keep the entertainment pure, right? And we don't have to be told by some,
well, then you're being influenced by things that, then you're being influenced by advertisers, then you're being influenced by
bosses that don't, I don't think this is funny.
Well, that's when you get politics involved, and that, and then...
don't talk about this. I don't think this is funny. I don't think this guy's funny.
Yeah.
Well, that's subjective,
or
right?
This doesn't line up with the way that I think, so don't do that. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, I do think that.
Yeah.
So why can't I be me? Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And if the BDMs, the listeners, don't support our sponsors, then they won't sponsor. Believe me, they will cut their sponsorship if the BDMs stop supporting them.
Yeah.
Because luckily they do, and it works.
Well,
but the day it doesn't, they will cut it.
There's a secret, too.
It's just business.
We also try to choose really, really good sponsors.
Yeah. And we're lucky enough that the BDMs and the listeners use them, right?
Yeah.
And know that matters, because it does, every single one.
And it still does. TomandDan.com.
Yeah.
Check it out. And if you do use our sponsors, you can benefit from it. We have to take a break.
Yeah, I know. But I realize what this guy's saying, as far as you start saying you don't care and you didn't care, and you're like, well, why'd you do? It seemed like you were working,
right.
You cared about your bed.
I got a lot of that, too.
Same thing with you.
I got a lot of that.
Dude,
people would say, you didn't mention it. You didn't say a word about it.
You're still trying.
Yeah. Why would I?
Yeah, because me and Daniel, we're hard workers. We want to try. The situation was bad.
We wouldn't have this if we had had bad attitudes and tank. We wouldn't be here. No way.
I didn't care about the company, cared about the listener. That's it.
I like that.
Yeah. Anyway,
we'll be back.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Let's get into the most controversial segment on this particular program. Will this be the last time?
I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, we've got a serious talk.
We got to have a serious talk.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Right.
Nerds. Nerds. Nerds.
Jock, nerd, jock, nerd.
It's the last Nerd Jock with EJ. I'm joking.
No.
I don't know yet, though. We're going to talk it out. So
We do have to have a talk.
Yeah.
Then we should start with the bad news first, should we?
What's the bad news?
Well, Daniel got chopped last night.
Yeah, I
in
got
our guillotine league.
In the guillotine league, I got
You're
chopped.
out?
Yeah, but he's been bitching about this for a while.
I've been trying to
He
took the power away because I knew he wanted to get chopped at one point. So I was like,
no, I didn't. I don't want to get chopped, but the interface for this particular thing is really bad. And apparently, the first week when I went to set up my team, and this is no BS, and the guys in the league will back me up. I eliminated every tight end I had on my team. I either dumped them for other things I was trying to bid. I didn't read. I did a Tom. I didn't read. I jumped in there, and I thought I had a good grasp of what I was doing, and I was just mashing buttons, and I eliminated all my tight ends. My team was crap. People were picking up players that I had.
Collusion.
Collusion, near-death experiences, meaning I was like second to last, and then finally, you can't, if you don't have players and you're not getting points, you get chopped. So I'm chopped. Aaron Rodgers is out there if anybody wants him, but why would you want him?
Well, I mean, it's weird picking up a QB. I guess if you had like a Derek Carr.
If you had a horrible QB.
Anyway,
you wouldn't want to pick up a QB.
So, EJ, let's get to the topic at hand. I'm sure you've listened to the show and heard some criticism. We've got some emails, and
I mean, I have a voicemail. I can go to a voicemail right now, Tom.
Okay.
that I'd been saving, and I hate to do this, EJ. Not trying to put you on the spot here.
As long as it's constructive.
Yeah, this is constructive. Let's see what this guy says.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Sam. This is Scott calling from Vermont. Just wanted to follow up on the recent nerd jock from Dum Dum Tesla with EJ, bringing up the tried and true diss of the Eagles fans throwing snowballs at Santa. Just to put a truth behind what actually happened, I grew up outside of Philly, so pretty interested in Philadelphia's.
So I'm gonna stop it here because I don't want to deviate from where you wanted to go. This is this gentleman's second call. He's calling back in to correct misinformation.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's the reason I saved this one.
So EJ, at first, I tried to like mimic what I see managers do in giant corporations, which is like, you know, because their boss tells them like, hey, what's wrong with this employee? Well, like every time I walk by, you see him do nothing. You're like, oh, I'll take care of it or whatever. Then you have
what's wrong with Butler? He's not producing.
Yeah. And so it's like our bosses are the listeners. So they tell us and I'm like, all right, we'll take care of it. Okay. So then I have a group meeting and then I get everybody in the room because I don't want it to be awkward to just point out one person.
But there's different styles of thought to that. There's the bring everybody together and air it all out together, or there's the pull the person aside. You almost have to do it case by case based on that person's love language.
It's too awkward for me to pull a person aside.
I know you hate that. I know you hate that.
So then you make it awkward for everyone. Awesome.
Yes. Well, no, you guys know who it's about. That's the thing. Like, so when I like, all right, guys.
The first question I'll have is like, who's this about?
Get it together. Like, all right, like, we got to
work on me.
We got to work harder here. We got to, try a little
blame
harder.
It on everybody.
I'm just saying, but everybody, you guys know.
I tried that with Maisie, but we only have one kid and it doesn't work.
You guys know it's about EJ and Travis. You
know. E.T.
And then I'm like, come on.
E.T. phone home.
I'm like, this is not that hard. Let's get it together. Let's, all right, all in on three. Teamwork. 1, 2, 3, teamwork.
I don't do the 1, 2, 3 teamwork.
We've never done that.
We've never done that.
I go back to my office. I'm like, all right, that'll fix it.
Wait, your office is my office.
We're all in the same office.
I go back to my office where everybody's still sitting.
Fantasy.
I talk to everybody, then I go back to my office where everybody's still sitting from the last conversation.
And then I go on, and then I'm like, all right, that'll kind of, get them, rolling.
That's a B12 shot right there.
Yeah. And then nothing changes, and then it keeps on going, and then my boss comes back. He's like, hey, I see that guy. He's sleeping on the tree again. I'm like, oh, God. So then
you gotta go out there, be a little more stern.
Yeah. Then I'm like, come on, we gotta just look, please. I beg him, please do it.
When do you do the thing though? Because I do a lot of this.
When
with
do you
Maisie.
give the impossible challenge?
I do a lot of this with Maisie, where I go, that if you do this again, that this is gonna be bad, right? I do that when that's the tone I use with Maisie. I go
too awkward.
I go. Okay, you're not in trouble right now, but I saw you were about to do that. You do understand, like I would, if I were EJ's boss, I'd say, look, I love you, but I'm gonna have to take our friendship out of play here. You're gonna have to prepare better, and you have to work a little harder. And you do understand that if you don't perform, we are gonna eliminate the bid.
That's awkward. You're being serious.
It's honest.
Be straightforward and be honest with me.
It's honest.
Beat around the bush. Because that hurts my feelings more. Like, the fact that you're just going to go around me kind of makes me feel bad.
Well, he doesn't value you as a friend enough to pull you aside and talk to you.
No, it's because
he hasn't ridden with you.
Okay.
Like, I really value our friendship, and Tom's like, whatever.
Yeah, like,
I'll be honest.
He hasn't ridden with you in your car and had you pushed me out gently, and I laid in the sod drunk. Waiting to go inside. I could barely
you were in your garage, no problem.
I could barely see in front of me, and you got me home safe. You're a gentleman.
He confessed his love to me the whole way home and talking about Presto trips. I still haven't seen that money though.
I did.
Here's the
You'll
problem.
never see it, EJ.
Yeah, what?
I was really lovey-dovey.
What if
Presto trip is a fallacy?
Daniel, what if they can't do it? Right? Hey.
So you're saying I'm incapable.
Well, then it becomes a special needs. Then it becomes like the kid on the field that has no business, and the rest, and then the rest of the team is like backing off and letting him run down the field, and you're like, well, hold on a second. What lesson are we actually learning here? Does this kid know that those kids aren't playing their hardest?
Yeah, he dropped the football.
They put it back in his hand.
Out of his wheelchair. He almost ran it over.
The football fell out of his wheelchair. Literally the guy that was supposed to push his wheelchair over picked the the football up and stuck it in his seat.
Just so, I mean, is that a real? How happy?
That's a real video, by the way. And don't ask me where it is. I'm never watching it again. But back at a different time.
No, we watched it seriously. We didn't laugh at all.
There was a different time that Tom and I might have known.
Hero.
Yeah, we love that video.
But all I'm saying is that once you roll across the, the line and you score a touchdown,
you got to break the plane.
Like, how happy can you be about that accomplishment when the rest of the team
depends
just
on what your mindset is.
Slowly walked behind you.
Depends on your mindset.
Well, is your mindset like, at least I got the chance to fake a touchdown?
No, but you're man, this is hard to say without.
You're gonna upset some people.
I'm just saying that maybe EJ is just not bright enough to enjoy you lying to him.
What do you mean? Explain that to me.
I mean, some people don't care whether or not it's real. I know that you worked with these people. There are people that do not care the
reality of what they did.
How genuine is this? Is this a simulation? Who cares? There are people that take the big who cares. It doesn't matter.
They're cheering.
Yeah, they're cheering.
Doesn't matter why.
If they're cheering, they're cheering.
I scored a touchdown.
No matter what, I did it.
Even though I'm sure the wheelchair is an illegal, thing to have on the field.
It's not something you do.
I don't think you can have anything with wheels. Like that's for sure a foul.
Well, it's just not. It's a little. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that.
That's got to be in the rule book somewhere.
Yeah.
The fact that there
no
was
motorized vehicles. Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of ineligible receivers downfield. So many fouls on the play. No one threw a flag.
Yeah. I mean, basically every team is in the center of the field, right?
Like when you win the Super Bowl on a obvious pass interference penalty that no one called, is it a real win, or should you have never been there?
That one's different though, because that's just like the.
I have a story about that.
Okay, so EJ, I saw that you put a poll up on the BDM page.
I didn't put the poll up.
Or someone? Oh, who did it? Tony?
I think it was.
I think it's just a listener.
That was a listener that did it. Wow, they're go-getters.
And, there are people that like your bit, but I'll be honest, we got to...
You're going to listen to the one or two that yell it down? Is that what you're going to do?
It's more than two. One or two.
What you hate?
It's closer to like a 2,000.
One or two... It would have been fine. I mean, we got those a long time ago.
Yeah,
the 1 and 2 first week you did the bit, but then it's really been going heavy, and I think people
it's ramping up. It is,
and people are just mad. They feel like you're
squandering your shot.
Yeah, you're maybe,
Hamilton.
You're not trying as hard, and they feel personally attacked by that.
You got to take your shot, man.
I'll show you. Like I write notes the whole book is full of all the stuff I do. So.
But today's only has one page.
Well, I only do 1 page per day. That's what I do.
Oh, okay.
Now
I write the topic, the topics ahead.
Now writing a book of notes is insane. Because all you have to do is just read a Yahoo Sports story.
Like you, Tom. I want my wife to write it 5 minutes of comedy or 1 minute of comedy, and then reprint it out on the BDM page later.
She does that to secretly,
She knows you hate that.
She gets some sort of joy about showing the world how handicapped I am. Look, he can't even spell her right.
Don't say you're handicapped.
I mean, who am I offending? Am I offending handicapped people? Be like, I don't want to be associated with that guy. How can that be offensive?
He's more handicapped than we are. He's gross.
I'm not like him.
He's yucky.
How dare he?
All right, let's try to dig through this.
He's appropriating me.
Let's go.
Handicap.
Let's do this. All right.
Okay, we got to talk about the 66-yard field goal that Justin Tucker kicked during the Ravens versus Lions game.
All right.
Okay, I will say I was betting on that game. I had the Ravens in a tease. I needed them to win by 2. Because I teased them down to 1.5.
1.5. Yeah.
So I'm watching that game, and the Ravens didn't look good. And they were losing that game to the Lions, which they should never have lost. All this talk before.
The Lions are special kind of stanky, right?
Well, people don't believe in Jared Goff, and they think that this is a throwaway season, but they're not that bad. And they were able to stay competitive, which a lot of people, they're like, oh, this team stinks. And then that creates a narrative that they're like the Bad News Bears, or you're playing like a little league, or some sort of they're still professional football players, and they're all pretty damn close to good. You know what I'm saying? Like DeAndre Swift is pretty damn close to the best running back in the NFL right now,
He's
which
great.
is like Derrick Henry or whoever's the best or most
Who
yards.
is the best running back right now?
I mean, Jared Goff is not that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
He's an NFL quarterback.
no.
Anyway, there was a couple things, and this was weird. Before they made that kick, they tried to get off one more play, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Are you talking about when the time ran out?
Lamar Jackson, the time clock ran out for 2 beats.
It should have been a delay game.
Which was weird.
It was a long time.
And that kind of, I'm not into conspiracy theories, but it kind
TikTok says otherwise.
Oh, I know. But this one,
What's TikTok saying?
He's getting all the conspiracy TikToks, he said.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But those are
I'm sorry.
ridiculous.
It's a good show. I should listen to it.
This, I could imagine the NFL, because the referees work for the NFL, saying.
They interviewed the guy, the head official, right?
Did they?
Yeah, they did. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I know they interviewed him, and I was like, it was one of those things.
How do you miss it?
I don't know. I need to read it. I'm sorry. I'm pulling an EJ.
Well, it seems to me that maybe a discussion behind the scenes happened where they told the refs, hey,
New York's talking to him the whole time, right?
But New York also works for the NFL, and it's all for entertainment. And maybe they said, hey, don't make a call that's going to stop a game-winning possibility. And I guess they would have just thrown if they got that penalty, they just throw a Hail Mary, right? Because that's the only other option.
You would go deep.
You're not making a 71-yard kick. That's impossible. I thought the 66-yard was impossible.
Once we've become aliens, though, we'll do that.
When he kicked it, I honestly thought it bounced off the field because
the way the camera was mounted.
So
Yeah.
I've never seen a ball bounce off that crossbar and go into the net behind it. It was weird. It was like a weird optical illusion. I was like, "What happened?" And then it's good. I was like, "Oh my god!"
The right amount of spin on that thing to go the right direction, right? I mean,
it was incredible. The 66-yard field goal it'll take a while to be broken.
And he had the 65, right?
From last year.
Yeah, I think that's pretty rad that next year he should literally set it up to try and do a 60. He should every year try to beat it by 1 yard.
Arizona went for a 68-yarder, but it got returned for 109 yards to tie the.
Oh, now that's the law.
Also.
Okay, that's the thing I was hoping you were going to talk about. I showed that video to Andrea last night, and she was freaking out because that was another one where this kick, and I don't think I've ever seen that. I've watched football for a very long time, but I forget that on a missed field goal.
You could put a returner
back
there.
Yeah, you could put a returner back there, and that's a live ball. And this dude, he was flying.
Yeah. Also, I've heard people criticize the coach for making that call because you're not in a punt return package or all those. Your field goal unit
set up right.
Well, your field goal unit is not used to running after and tackling a ball returner.
Right.
So you got the worst.
You got to have the right personnel out there.
Yeah. So your punting unit is right. They're built for it. It's the right personnel. But so
I'm learning that in Madden is matching personnel. Man, that's hard to get. I don't know how you do that, EJ. I don't know how you did that in college. That's hard.
See, that makes me.
It's hard, yeah.
It makes me seem like, all right, Arizona's blowing out the Jaguars, and the coach just let the kicker try to.
Oh man, you
score
are
a record.
falling into conspiracy theory. I can
Why
see
else
it in
would
his
he do
eyes,
it?
Sam. Sam, you got him. You have a remarkable effect on this man. He has literally changed. He went to vacation, probably walking through the mountains, thinking about conspiracy theories.
There's feral people out there.
If it was just to win or that you punt the ball off, obviously to a bad Jaguars offense, but
you always say obviously. It's always obviously.
Well, I think it's obvious to coaches where don't they have people to tell them hey, don't kick this because they can return it. You have a bad personnel out there to make a tackle.
Well,
I don't know.
My point is I forgot about that. So I'm watching this. This is how stupid I am. I forgot that you could put a guy back there. I'm watching it with my wife. We're watching the replay, and the ball goes up, and I go, hey, look at that guy back there. And he caught it. And then I'm like, oh. And then he's just hauling
Devin
it.
Hester did it. Ed Reed did it.
Wow.
Yeah, they've done it.
Hester is a human vehicle.
You know what?
My God.
What I don't like is the fact that they have to stop it at 109 is the record because they're not going to do a 109 and a half. So there's a bunch of people that have the 109.
I think you gotta look at the foot.
Yeah.
I think you gotta measure.
I want to know who went the farthest.
100% with you. They do it in javelin. You can't do it in football.
But it was going to go out of the back of the end zone, but he had to jump to catch it. That would be a longer kick because he was at the back of the end zone.
That's 110.
So we have the ability through camera work.
No, it's where your feet are.
But I'm saying you have the ability to say exact. I mean, you could tell exactly what that is.
Because I want to know who did it the longest.
Yes.
Like one of them actually had a couple inches over the other. I want to
Had
know
to.
who's the longest.
Had to.
Anyway,
What
next
else you
story.
Okay, we're going to talk about, did you hear about the offensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys, Lael Collins, who bribed the drug tester?
This is a story I was hoping you'd get to. Yeah, so this guy had missed, was it 7?
I think it was 5 drug tests.
5 drug tests.
He skipped.
He skipped 5 drug tests, but then he said that he said he had legitimate excuses for every single one of them for missing. There's a lot of like funerals and stuff, right? Am I right on that?
Yeah,
EJ?
and he had to go to arbitration with the NFLPA and the NFL because this happened. Because it's like you can't like suspend him for missing the tests, but you can suspend him for failing a test.
Correct.
And that's the whole thing about it. And it turns out he tried to bribe the guy on the last test so he wouldn't have to take it.
Now, I'm sure this is probably a marijuana thing, right? Because it's still a legal substance.
Well,
it says players
Josh
cannot
Gordon
be
just got on.
suspended for positive marijuana
No,
tests
it's-
under the NFL's collective bargaining
That's what I was
agreement.
going to tell you.
Josh Gordon's back in the league because
it's-
they went down on the marijuana stuff.
100% not marijuana. And I was having to explain this.
Performance enhancing.
Yeah, I was explaining this to Andrea last night. Apparently, there's I don't know that much about it, but there are newer and different hybrids of performance-enhancing drugs that are running rampant through sports right now.
Yeah.
That we will start to see a lot of new names of drugs that we've never heard before because this stuff's happening and it's rampant.
Dude, it's a huge business. If you can have any sort of edge by boosting your testosterone or
100%.
muscle or putting on muscle,
It ain't
weight.
weed. They don't care about weed.
Yeah. And then, and you could have an advantage and make millions of more dollars. You're going to do whatever the
Brock
latest
BDM
is.
brings up something kind of interesting, and I'd like to see what you three think of this. Ricky Williams, with this whole, marijuana basically, it kind of screwed up his entire career, did it not?
Yep.
And that guy,
he quit because of it.
Yeah, and that guy was a true mega talent, was he not?
Yeah, but
he didn't want to do opium. He didn't want to do opium-based drugs. He'd rather do smoke weed for recovery, and that's what got him kicked out of the league from the Saints and the Dolphins.
Better career had he been now? Playing now with less heat on the marijuana? I just think he's cool when he would ride to practice on his fixed gear bicycle, and he's just a cool dude.
From what I've learned, there isn't anything special about running backs. They're a dime a dozen. Apparently, they're all about the same. It all has to matter with the team, the scheme, the O-line.
I've heard that too.
Le'Veon Bell was the best running back in the NFL, the #1 draft pick in fantasy, and then the next year, nothing. And the Jets, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then now he's out of the league, or he's on some backup. It's like, how does that happen over 3 years? It turns out that the running back position isn't necessarily that talent based, I guess.
No, it's talent based. It's just you got to read the holes and stuff like that. Reading the blocks, doing the right steps. It does have a lot to do with the offensive line. I'll agree with you there.
Well,
if
that's
the offensive line is fantastic, you could have a mediocre running back and he'd do well. But if you have a crappy offensive line like Barry Sanders did, that's talent.
True.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
Barry's a freak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It shows you. Because if you look at the offensive line for the Lions when Barry was there, it was horrible.
When's the last
it was
time,
usually ranked last.
When's the last time, EJ, you went back and watched Barry Sanders? It's fun. When you go back
crazy.
And you YouTube some of his greatest runs and you're like, oh my God, you are a creature. My Lord, you can fly.
You could also make the argument too that the actual players who are touched less than they are now. Like every
he's more advanced then. I think he was ahead of his time. Definitely when he was playing for the Lions.
Well, and smooth. Like he always looks so young. Like smooth.
Like
he still looks young.
Yeah, he does.
Defensive line has gotten faster and better. So like, could Barry Sanders? This is the age-old argument. Can an old age or like an older player stack up to the new
That's why
reality?
They kind of try to do that in Madden, where you can win the legends and have different people play.
Yeah. It's hard because it's like the 72 undefeated Dolphins would get smoked by the Alabama.
The
probably,
Jets
right?
this year.
Yeah, the Jets this year for sure. It's like it's just the talent is so much better than it was.
What else you got? We
okay. The last story I picked out for Sam because it's breaking news. Richard Sherman is at the Bucks facility signing a contract to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No way.
Today, right now.
I saw he was going there. I didn't know if he was
Back in
gonna
that
sign
team again. But he's not.
Well, they're
he's just a
down
name,
like 3
right?
of their 5 best cornerbacks, so they need a quarterback.
Yeah, but he's
and
not.
he has experience.
He is, but he's not what he was, right? He's a locker room.
Oh, he's slow. He's lost.
He's a locker room hype guy, big name general, right? Like he's like the defensive.
Well, he was the general of the Legion of Boom when he was in Seattle for sure.
Well, that was a while ago, and there's a reason why he's not in the NFL right now. Like he just, and I don't know. It seems like. Okay, I have heard this from there's a podcast called The Business of Sports, and it's it talks about like all the behind the scenes, like the actual teams and what they do. There's this new phenomenon. Have you heard about this, EJ? Where there are like bigger, like I can say legends, but like big name players that hadn't signed with the team because for whatever reason, like cap space or aging out, but they're still good enough, but they can basically like jump on a Super Bowl possible winning team in mid-year, and they'll just wait out training camp in the first like 5 weeks or whatever, and then pick a team that most likely to win the Super Bowl and just jump on with them. And because they're still good enough to play, and they, every team would want them, but they can literally choose the team they want to go to and sign, they'll still get paid.
I'm hoping that
maybe not the top amount if they went to, if they opened themselves to all teams, then maybe the Jets would bid higher.
I am hoping.
But who wants to play with them?
I am hoping that Matt Ryan will open himself to all teams and go there.
So it seems like more and more
players.
They
won this week, though.
Good thing we have Koo.
More and more players will start to do that as an option because why not? You're only helping your own
skipping camp
brand.
and then not getting hurt in the preseason and during the first couple weeks, and then you have fresh legs at the end of the year. And that's a veteran player's dream for sure.
Yeah,
to go on a Super Bowl winning team and just get to choose where you go. Yeah.
And like maybe you're missing out on $1 million and some non-guaranteed money.
But you get to play the Super Bowl.
But at that point, you already got the money. You want to win a Super Bowl.
This is going to sound silly, but if I had let's say I had, I don't know what Richard Sherman's worth, but let's just say I'm worth $15 million. He's probably worth more. But I would just be like Super Bowl. I just want to win all the time. I wouldn't want the money. You and I both agree on this. I know other people disagree with us. I do think that there is a diminishing returns. Like you hit a point of like money nirvana where you don't need any more. You don't want any more.
Also, you're like winning a Super Bowl ups the value of your own personal brand and name. So what is that value? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to quantify, but it's something. So that may be more than the extra money you would have gotten if you played on the Jets or whatever. You don't need no chance to win the Super Bowl.
Well, it's a resume builder, is it not? I mean, it keeps your name relevant.
Look at this guy.
Yeah, it keeps your
name.
This
guy won a national championship. You guys wouldn't talk to me if I didn't win a national championship, probably.
I would talk to you. I like fat guys.
Daniel does like a big
I love
bearded
a big
fatso.
bearded fatso. I would hug you and talk. I would chirp your ears off, fatso. I love you.
I like a bearded fatso as well.
Yeah.
More than a skinny, like a Justin Bieber.
I don't trust him.
I'm like, I don't
trust you.
Too skinny.
I like some meat on my friend's bones. I like huggable people to be around me.
Yeah.
I don't trust skinny people.
Like you're skinny, you got a weird scraggly beard.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you?
Yeah,
So you don't want me to look like Machine Gun Kelly.
No, but I don't like I look at Machine Gun Kelly. I think you're sick.
Yeah.
What do you got?
What's wrong
what
with
do you got? Pop punk AIDS? What do you got?
Okay, the last story I have is Eli got in trouble for flipping the double birds at the television last night. Did you see that?
You should be able to flip the double birds at the TV. They do it on AEW wrestling.
Because he was, going back to that caller about the Eagles, I didn't say the Eagles fans were throwing snowballs. They were throwing batteries at Santa Claus. And that's why he was wrong about me being wrong.
Okay, stop. Yeah, that's why people hate you.
Yeah.
I'm just doing like
no,
Peyton
you
Manning.
can't. You got to just.
Manning has this guy that he hates. It's called PFT Commenter. And he gets on him every single game. I love it. So I'm trying to be like Peyton. And do the details.
So
No Peyton.
What's weird is that I know they have
not the bad stuff Peyton did.
Like they have an audio drop out, right? Like on those kind of things, because like Eli Manning and Peyton Manning do that show now where they watch. Monday
you mean
Night
like a
Football.
delay?
Yeah, they have a delay in
Yeah.
audio, but I assume they have the delay in in the visual too. Like they can, if something happened or whatever, they could cut out of it and just cut to something else, and we'd never see it. But apparently not.
Well, he did say that. He said that. He's like, well, if I do this and I get in trouble for it, you just cut it out. And he did it, and they didn't cut it out.
Weird. Like you aren't the producers watching every second?
But-
you know what I'm
but-
saying? It's not
but
like
do they-
someone walked away.
But do they really care? And can he really get in trouble? I would be like, if
he
I
just
told,
apologized and keep moving.
I wouldn't even apologize. If I told you to cut it and you didn't cut it, I'd say, well, you apologize then. 'Cause
Yeah.
I told you what to do and you didn't do it, so that's on you, and I don't care.
Yeah, it's ESPN's production team
Yeah.
that's his fault, right?
Yeah.
So someone's getting fired from that. They're not
They
Eli
should
Manning.
get fired though. My God.
Well, if I was their boss, I'd be like, why did that happen? Like, did you walk away from? Like, I imagine that they're
We
not
got caught up in the moment.
So think about the production that goes in. Like, so there's someone at Peyton Manning and Eli Manning's house because they're doing it in their basement or whatever. I heard them in an interview talk about that. So there's some production person there and
Ice cream.
camera people, right? It's
Sorry.
not. It's not just.
Wait, hold on a second. This is why. Look, if we're gonna do this, we gotta do what? So you interrupted Tom, and Tom's point was very rude of you. I might add.
Sorry,
This is my business partner. You're disrespecting here.
But there's ice cream.
Hold on, stop
downstairs.
talking. There's a man that has given you a gift of a segment on this show. His name is Thomas Chisholm Van.
Well, hold on.
And then as he's
you're half of the decision.
Yeah, but I didn't agree on this part. I went along with you because it's what you wanted to do.
I didn't even want to do
Like
it.
this whole show is like a wedding.
Who does want to do this then?
This
I don't
whole
know.
Nobody.
This whole show is like a wedding.
I'm
I
just-
let you pick everything, and I'm just like, yes, dear, the whole time. Chris Kampmeyer was right. You're the brains. And I don't. So then
I don't want to do nothing.
So then EJ interrupts your poignant sports point to yell, "Ooh, there's ice cream."
Yeah.
What are you, Stanley from The Office, by the way?
I am.
Go to nerd and let's get out of here.
Yeah. I can't wait to S on your
well,
nerd points.
since you got to talk about Pokemon, did you guys get the Pokemon Oreos yet? And if you got a Mew one?
I saw them. I saw the Pokemon Oreos. Are there different Pokemon?
They're different Pokemon in each one, and like Mew is a really rare one, and they're selling for like $10,000 on eBay.
Oh my.
If you like have a mint condition one.
A mint condition Mew Oreo is $10,000.
Yes.
Dude, I'll go on the hunt for some damn $10,000
Hold on.
Oreos.
Did someone just put it up? It only matters. I could put anything for sale. I could put
Someone paid $10,000 for it because it's really rare. I think it's 1 in 50 packs has one Mew.
Was it like Golden, or what is it? The casino site? Like, because they'll do that.
GoldenPalace.com.
Yeah. Was it one of those where they bought it just for the news story?
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, so you're not prepared. So you're not prepared.
I didn't do the research
Not
for
prepared.
that part of it.
I need a
Well,
drop
look-
for not prepared.
Here's if you just look who bought it. If it's a private, like, and they just they don't mention the name, then you're like, oh, this is real. If it's GoldenPalace.com or some sort of the Barstool Sports owner of whatever that guy's name is,
Yeah.
then you're like,
Is that the one bite guy with a pizza?
he just did it to be a troll, to troll the media so he can get publicity. And he's like, $10,000 is worth every news story in the country.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, talking about it.
He buys the news cycle.
Anyway,
What else you got?
Okay, the other thing we definitely got to talk about is the Mario casting for the animated movie. Have
Okay,
you guys
yeah.
talked about that? Yes?
No, we have not talked about this. This is a good one. So I saw this very cryptic poster that was released, I think, on Friday or over the weekend. And it was a black poster with the question mark box that Mario hits in order to get a mushroom. And then it had very famous people's names, and I'm sure he's going to go through them. And it was just like people's names, and it's an animated Mario movie. Is that what it's going to be?
Yep. It's going to be like, it's not going to be like Sonic where it was live action with animation. It's going to be straight animation, it looks like. And they picked Chris Pratt to play Mario and Charlie Day to play Luigi.
So, is Chris Pratt gonna go with the stereotypical Italian
Stereotype.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
is it? Are we too sensitive as a society for him to do that?
Well,
because
neither of the people that they have hired for this are Italian Americans. So
Is Chris Pratt got any Italian? Is it like that? Can he have a little bit of Italian in you? Like if his mom was Italian, his dad was the
Well,
Pratt side,
listen,
which
man.
is, let's say, German, and then they married, and then he's...
I want him to just show up and like, hey, it's me,
Right.
Mario.
like the part, yeah, like,
Like the most, but more, like the most you can make it stereotypical. Like, I mean, just yelling spaghetti, plunger.
Spaghetti.
Anyway,
Plunger.
that's what but I'm wondering is he gonna do the Mario accent? He has
wait a
to,
minute.
right?
Wait a minute. He can be Mario because he's already that dumb character in the Lego movie, which is basically Construction Mario.
Maybe that's why they.
Yeah, that's probably why he has.
Well, then he's a
experience.
big name, and it'll bring notice to the movie. And that's the reason. They didn't pick him because he sounds like Mario. They picked him because he's
They
a big
need
name.
John Leguizamo, the
Everybody
original.
said that.
He was already Luigi in the original movie.
Oh, is it Luigi? Who was Mario in that?
Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins was the original Mario.
I have no idea who that
Who
is.
is
Hopper was in it.
Who is the most famous King Koopa? Who's the most famous Italian
Hopper.
American right now? It doesn't even have to be Italian American. Most famous Italian, rather.
De Niro, maybe.
Robert De
Too
Niro
old.
would be an awesome Mario. Old, curmudgeon, like almost senile.
Yeah.
Leo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro,
Okay,
Al
Leo.
Pacino, Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Leo.
I don't count Leonardo DiCaprio as being Italian.
he ain't
I
Italian.
never even
No,
thought of
no.
him as
'Cause
Italian.
You can't
Well,
be
if you're going
you know
Always
what?
Sunny, why don't you
I'm
go
going
Danny
full
DeVito?
stereotype. If you're blonde, not Italian.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know what? Steve Buscemi, put him in there.
I don't count.
Ooh, that's not Mario.
Steve
That's,
Buscemi would be a good Luigi.
he'd be a good Scario. He is.
Ray Romano. That's a good Mario.
King Cobra. Ah, ma.
He doesn't.
Hey, ma. King Cobra. I don't know. I don't.
Ron Jeremy.
I was
Ron
going to say
Jeremy.
Ron
He's in prison.
It'll be. I know, but I'm saying he can
It's
do it.
avant-garde. It's avant-garde.
He's next to R.
Oh,
Kelly.
Ray
No
Liotta.
way.
Let's throw him in there.
Ray Liotta. I don't like his lion face.
I love Ray Liotta.
I can't look at his face anymore. Ray Liotta's face.
Yeah, it's Botox.
It's
yeah.
something wrong.
He's turning into a lion.
I can't
That's
look
what
at it.
happens,
He
yeah.
is.
Everybody who does too much Botox turns into
Just
a
stop
lion.
doing that. Just get old.
No, you can't because once you start,
I'm
you
doing
can't.
it. It's fine.
Yeah, but when you're, I'll be like, oh my god, your face is disgusting.
No, but would you rather have a disgusting face or would you rather be a disgusting lion face?
Well, at least the lion, I'm like, wow, lion. But if you're just wrinkly and old, you're like, old. But if you're a
Okay,
lion, I'll
you
be
know
like,
what?
oh, lion.
You changed my mind.
So at least it's like old or lion.
This very rarely happens in life. People don't admit this. I will admit that you just changed my mind.
Yeah.
You know what? I go back on everything I said. I will now go the way of the lion.
Yeah, because it's like, would you rather look old? That's the only other alternative.
Danny DeVito, somebody said, that's not a bad Mario. Danny DeVito would be a good Mario,
I said
but
that earlier.
he's a little too old right now. He's a little too
But
old.
it's his voice. But I guess his old voice, right? He'll get the old man voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, remember when he bit that guy's nose off as a penguin? That's horrifying. It's
And
horrifying.
then they had McDonald's cartoon toys for him.
It's horrifying. Man, he was scary as the penguin.
It's when we were a tougher society in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, like,
you couldn't bite somebody's nose off in a Batman now.
Yeah, you lock the doors, you get the plant, you bite the nose off. Everybody's fine with it. Nah, you can't do none of that.
That's called the Lauer Weinstein. Who's the last guy? DeVito.
Well, then if we're going to talk about that, we're going to talk about Squid Game on Netflix. Have you seen that on Netflix? It just came out.
Squid Game?
I keep seeing the trailer for it.
Dude, it is messed up. It's the Hunger Games or Battle Royale meets kids games. They get all these Koreans and they play kids games, but they kill them if they lose. Like they're playing red light, green light in the very first trailer.
Damn.
And the first guy kind of twitches when they says red light and they shoot him. And then everyone starts freaking out and they start shooting everybody.
That's not a
And
game.
that's-
That's not how you play.
Hold on.
But it's for like millions of dollars. And every time a person dies, they make the pot even bigger because each person's worth a certain amount of money.
People say it's really good in the chat room.
Well,
They're
when you
digging
say-
it.
It's scary and, oh, man.
You got to explain
Anxiety
it.
crazy.
How old are the kids?
Yeah, you're saying kill them.
No,
but
no. Everyone's over 18 because you have to sign a contract
Okay.
to be part of the game. Like you have to there's like 3 rules. Like the first rule is you have to like sign the contract. Second rule is if a majority of the people decide to stop playing these 6 games, the game's over with and nobody wins any money. And that's what happens after the first red light, green light.
Yeah, but you're saying kill them, but that's obviously just they're pretending like when the
No. They straight up shoot these people, or like in the tug of war in the trailer, they drop them off like a high tower.
So you're saying they murder people?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like Hunger Games, is what he said.
But so this is a fake show.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's what.
Oh, you thought it was a reality TV series?
Well, he didn't explain.
Oh.
Unprepared.
What the?
I said Hunger Games and
You're gonna let
Battle
Butler laugh at
Royale,
you
which
like
are
that?
fake
Butler is
movies.
literally cry laughing at you right. Today's the day
I'm
he
not
gets
joking.
fired.
I almost
know you're mad.
went into the office and beat up Butler.
I know you
because
did.
I can do it.
Oh
Look
my
how
God.
mad he
I
is.
don't know that you can. I think that's illegal.
Oh, the woman of the show just called you out. What's happening?
I can't even lift his desk.
I feel what's happening? I feel like, am I on the show? What's happening? Everybody's going crazy.
I almost stole your credit card.
Don't steal my credit card. My God. I left that here, and I think the cleaning lady's stealing from it.
Well, you didn't explain. You're like, it's a reality
Yes,
show.
I did. I said it was like one of those shows. Which means it's
Oh, my God. You know what? That's it. You have to cancel the bit now, and you have to beat up Butler.
So it's
It's going to be a long day for you, buddy.
So it's just some, fake show about a.
It's fiction.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like one of those
It's fiction.
It's one of
Sorry.
those battle
Do I have
royale
to say one of
shows.
these shows fiction? Oh, The Boys have a spin-off that's called Young Adults Boys. And that's fiction. Sorry, I'll
All
do
right.
that too.
Okay, all right.
So, like, basically, it's,
I'll make it for now.
Oh my God.
okay. What else you got?
Okay, we got to talk about Sandman also coming out for Netflix. Did you see the teaser trailer for that?
I did not. Sandman.
Yeah, the Neil Gaiman story.
It's a
where-
graphic novel, right?
Yes, and they capture Death, but Death has different personas. I'm not totally sure about Sandman because I never read the comic books, but what I got from the synopsis is they capture Dream, which is the Sandman.
I'm interested in this because of something you just said. I know friends of mine that love the comics, Sandman. So, and I never dabbled in them. So rather than go, like normally what I would do, and this is what I did for Walking Dead, and it ruined Walking Dead for me. I found out Walking Dead's coming out as it's an adaptation of a graphic novel. I stupidly went and bought the graphic novels, read all those, in turn ruining the show for myself, right? I'm not going to do that with Sandman. I'm going to stay away from the graphic novels, and I'm going to try the show. That way maybe I can enjoy it.
That's what I did with The Boys, and I've enjoyed The Boys immensely because I didn't look it up and figure out everything.
I say I had already read some of The Boys, so to watch the
So that old song, like the Mr. Sandman.
Enter Sandman?
No.
Not Metallica, the one from the 60s.
Yeah.
Yes. Bring
The
me
one that
a
said
dream.
Back to the Future.
Bring me the cutest boy that I've ever seen.
So did that come out first and then the character of Sandman came out, or vice versa?
I think Mr.
Well, Neil
Sandman.
Gaiman wrote in the 70s, so I would say probably the song came out first.
No, you guys are idiots. The Mr. Sandman concept of Mr. Sandman putting children to sleep, I'm going to guess is like an age-old fairy
It's
tale.
folklore.
Okay,
Yeah, it's folklore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why Sandman? I don't know anything about like why.
He puts magical sand in people's eyes to make them go to sleep.
Gotcha. So it's more of like
look at this lady.
It's more like a fairy dust, right?
Kinda, yeah.
It's not,
Well, but if I were a boy, I wouldn't want to call it fairy dust. I'd be like, that's bro dust.
sand.
Yeah, that's sand, bro.
Yeah, it's
That ain't no
I need
fairy
grit
dust.
in my eyes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, it's a weird.
Those are some of my flying dust.
Like it's a weird concept because you would think like, all right, maybe the violin man comes and plays such a sweet tune you can't, you fall asleep.
No, never talking about Violin Man.
No, Violin Man's in the Umbrella Academy.
No, I'm
That's
just
a girl.
or
Well, it was a girl, now it's a guy.
or like there's Massage Man that like
Oh, that's me. That's me. I'm Massage Man.
Gray Raft Man comes in later.
What if I told you there was a superhero that only watches massage category of pornography? Dan Dennis is a Massage Man.
all I'm saying is like the sprinkling sand in kids' eyes to make them go to sleep is a
Oh my God! I can't. Oh, my eyes hurt.
is a bizarre thing to do to even make up, right? It doesn't even make sense.
Well, according to the folklore, it's when you wake up and you have like they call it like sleep in your eyes, like the eye
Oh,
crusting.
yeah.
Eye
They're
boogers.
saying like
Yeah.
that is from him the night before.
Oh, that's what it is?
Okay,
I always
alright.
thought it was like my eyes like leaking and then drying, but now that I know it's a man putting sand in my eyes,
Sandman. It's Sandman.
I
Okay.
feel better
That-
now.
listen,
I always wondered.
I'm fine with that explanation. I'm pretty like all
Where
I need is the truth.
But where does the sand come from? Is it come from
magic.
Is it
I
coming
don't-
from a bag on his
Yeah.
on his belt?
His
Does it
satchel,
come
yeah.
from his butt?
It's like a rock climber's.
I thought it was from an hourglass.
You know,
like a LeBron poof.
No, it's like, you know, the rock climber reaches back and it's like a
resin.
The rosin,
Rosin bag.
But it's like one of those round bags with the pooch on the
which
top.
looks like a balls.
Yeah. It looks like a sack.
The one thing that I missed out on with Dungeons and Dragons and like tabletop gaming is I always thought it was kind of cool, even though it's totally not cool. I always thought it was cool in middle school to see the kids that had the leather bag on their belt that had all their dice in it. And I was
dice in it,
yeah. I remember thinking for a split second, I was like, one day I'm gonna have a bag of dice, and then I got rid of that idea. I was like, Then I wised up.
Daniel, I think you would be a great dungeon master because you're really good at improv.
Well, I love being creative and telling spinning a yarn rather. So.
Here's Daniel's got all these tattoos. He's got the chest tattoo and he's got the cool hat and the cool clothes. But he's the most nerd. Well, him and Travis. Me and Samantha are the coolest.
Travis trumps me because there's one thing I do that he doesn't.
Yeah.
I raw dog that hard and all the time. But I raw dog.
No, I don't think he's a horny.
I raw dog. I would go every night, twice a night.
Yeah, Daniel's the horniest person I know.
I can't be stopped. I can't be stopped.
Yeah. So
that
is true.
Lately, I've gone on, off, and I've switched that up. Now it's on, just mouth, on, just mouth.
Hold on, you go.
Every night.
Every night?
The off nights are just the off nights are just giving your backside a rest. You know what I mean? I tipped my hat to you, sir, when I said that.
How could that be?
I don't know.
All right, EJ. Well, there it was. I guess we'll we'll see if we get the emails and they still hate it.
We'll see.
Then we're gonna tell you next week and be like, I don't know, they still hate it. I think you tried your hardest.
And then we're gonna throw you off a building like that show.
Yeah.
Like Squid Game.
Like we put the football in your lap. All you have to do is blow into the straw to get across the goal line. Anyway, anything to plug, EJ?
Mystic-con.com is my wife's website. If you want information about our next con, just go there.
All right, buddy. Hey, man, we love you. Be good. And thanks for putting like a solid 30% in today. All right.
I tried hard today. I didn't even get to talk about Babylon 5 and Jeff Conaway.
Okay. Well, we dodged two bullets.
Spend too much time on the ice cream.
All right. See you, buddy.
All right, love you guys.
I love you too, buddy. Be good. There's EJ live from.
We'll see. I don't know. That seemed like it was pretty good. I don't know. I
had to look up most of the information myself.
But that's normal.
Bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. So, this stuff my sons watch on YouTube.
Well, Maisie's no different. She's on the YouTube Wednesdays and Saturdays, and she watches Cookie Swirl C.
What is that, though?
It's some old lady who does kid videos, and it's weird. It is weird.
But the old lady is playing with the toys.
What she does, which is like, it kind of sucks because I hate that Maisie enjoys it, is that she'll go to like a Dollar Tree and then she'll explain like all these dumb toys she bought from the Dollar Tree and where she found them, like mini brands or Shimmer and Shine or slime. And then she'll just like take it out and she'll like, ooh, look at this slime. Oh, look how slimy it is. And that's it. It's just, she just showcases things for children to buy. I guess it's very consumer. There's a consumerism.
Does Maisie even want to buy the stuff, or does she just like the watching or play with it?
I'm afraid that I'd have to report that, I think there's an influence there that I don't like. I don't like the fact that this lady's like basically showcasing a bunch of Chinese plastic crap.
Long commercial, right?
Yeah, it's a bunch of crap, and this lady's getting money for it, but all it does to Maisie, I'd rather, if she wants to go craft or play with her toys, like last night, it was no iPad. We made snowflakes with pieces of paper, like where you cut them out. And
that's creative. That's good.
That's fun. But, man, I'm really anti the damn YouTube videos because I don't fully understand it. And I think you probably feel the same way. Like, it's not, I don't see the appeal. I don't get it.
At least there's some sort of content in the fact that you could put it under the category of product review. Loosely.
That's what they do, yeah.
She's pulling out slime. She's like, look at this.
But she's
and this
not
is what
reviewing
it is.
But
she's showing you a product that's for sale. So that's some sort of content. The garbage my sons watch is, there's nothing. It's not even.
Well, it's entertainment.
Send me a link tonight.
They're like laughing about. Yeah, if you could get us a link for Friday, I'll play a little bit of it and we can talk about it.
I'm sure if you searched what's that Meshuggah? What is the thing called?
Oh, now you got me saying Meshuggah, and I'm the one that got it right. Machinima.
Gun Kelly.
Machinima.
Like cinema.
Yeah.
Machinima.
Okay.
That's what I think it's under the category of, but all that it seemed, because I sat there and watched it for a second, and it's zero content, and it just, like, it's nonsense, where they just basically, it's set in the world of Minecraft, but they have all the other characters, like...
Does any of this look...
Thomas the Tank Engine, Sonic, they have the Minecraft characters, they have the other ones... And
like Sonic blows up his house?
Yeah.
Does this look like anything?
They'll get into a hole where it's just be like they'll just go to the next video. So who the hell knows how long they're down the rabbit hole of this? But
Peppa versus Minecraft.
Yes,
people.
yeah. There's Peppa the pig, and they kill her good.
She turned into a bean.
Yeah. No, but it's like there's bloody Sonic, and like Thomas the Tank Engine rolls up, and he's got blood eyes, like blood dripping from his eyeballs. And then it'll just go into the cat meme of the cat dancing to this. I forgot that. You'll know the song. It's like not.
Is there any parental controls on these?
I think I got it.
I don't know.
I think I found it. I've been looking, but I honestly.
And they watch it. They laugh. It's the most entertaining thing in the world to them. And I'm just like, what is it? Then I yelled, I'm like, Maisie does charcuterie. Like, you don't do nothing. And then they're like, I don't know. And then I'm like, she's a girl. She's better than. It goes back to we're not in a sexist society anymore. They're like, I know she's better than us.
Is this it?
That's it. Yeah.
Series here on Minecraft. If you haven't clicked off because you're too scared yet, make sure to subscribe for new episodes every single day.
There's Bloody Sonic.
This guy's a weirdo.
We'll be putting out episodes and more episodes and more episodes for you.
No, I don't think it's that weird.
I say, this guy's a creeper.
Yeah. If I ever heard that, I'd be like, what the hell? Although I don't even pay attention, so it could be it.
God damn it.
Well, hold on. I'll go in a little bit.
This harpoon through your body. No. Not today. Actually, do it. Wait, what? That just deflected off of you. Sonic. You are no Sonic. What is going on here?
Okay, you gotta throw that thing out the. You gotta throw it out of the house.
They like it. I don't know what. Like this is what.
You gotta get that out of your house, man.
This is what my
apparently
pop-up
that was a
said.
Russian bot. Did you hear it? Like, wait, it deflected off of you. What are you doing? This is the Russian bot trying to change election results.
I don't want to be the old man that bursts into my son's room and say like, "Are you listening to hippity hop?" like you're out of touch.
I don't want to. I'm not at all gonna tell you what to do because I vowed very early on not to give any other parent parental advice.
Oh.
I just don't do it. I don't like it when anybody gives me parental advice. But the chat room, they're a little different, and they think you have a huge problem when you're.
Oh, come on! They don't know. If they got kids, they are watching the
same. They all have kids. They're all weighing in on this. And
what are they saying?
I see supervision not okay. What the f? What the f? What the f? No one should watch this. People need to be banned from YouTube. Oh my God! Why are you doing this? They are too little. What are you doing? Your kid shouldn't watch this. Hot Tub Harley Quinn. Who's EJ?
Hold on.
EJ's in there. Yeah, what's one for EJ? He's being horny EJ in there.
Hold on, his screen name is Hot Tub Harley Quinn. My God. How could you?
Everybody seems to weigh in on this. Say this is not that good.
See,
creating serial killers.
No, come on. I mean,
it's just. Okay. Just based on what you just said, it has no substance. So maybe try to guide them towards.
But they like this. I know that's not apparent. But I'm saying,
how'd they get into it?
They just found
probably
it.
Type mine. Now Maisie does this now.
Yeah.
Do your boys do this now? Like on YouTube Kids, you can hit a button and she can search anything she wants by talking to it. Do they do that? Like Maisie?
Hell no. They don't know nothing.
Maisie will hit the button.
They don't know anything about technology. They don't even know that you could change the. They just
They're
let
just
it.
like their old man.
They just let it roll to the next YouTube video. They don't
they
go
are
and
just
click
like
on it.
you, my God. Maisie,
I walked out of his email this morning.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on.
Maisie hits the button and then it'll go cuckoo, just like Surrey or whatever, and she'll go like, babies swimming with puppies.
Oh,
and then it'll load
she's smart.
up 1,000.
Charcuterie.
No, she's
charcuterie board.
She did do a charcuterie board.
I saw it. I'm like, oh my God. She made that herself.
Beautiful pepperoni flour.
Yeah, she made a
pepperoni flour.
It was beautiful.
My son's...
I didn't do that. Andrea took her to do that. You know what I was doing? I drank 40 beers that day. 40.
It's fine.
I was tying Tommy's shoes in Colorado, and then I'm like, "Here's how you do it." And I'm trying to show him. He's like, I just trying to do it, and then he can't. He's like, "I don't know." And then I just do it for him. He's like, "I'm like," then he's like, "Why don't I have Velcro?" I'm like, "Son, I don't
You're
know."
not a
I'm
baby
like,
anymore.
You should have Velcro. I should have
want
Velcro.
Velcro.
Yeah, my pop-up had Velcro.
I wear slip-ons and Allbirds. I mean, Allbirds. I hate the Allbirds. You got to tie them. I taught Maisie how to tie her shoes, though, but she's like her mom. She likes that stuff, man. So that's what she's into.
Yeah, but you're going to have to teach your kids how to tie their shoes or they're going to really get made fun of.
Listen, I tell them. I'm like, you got to learn. They don't know that.
The thing that I don't like about May, and you can even see this on my Instagram. The thing I don't like about May is like she's like judgy. Like she... without anybody saying it, she's like, and this has got, you can watch the video on my Instagram, she's like, you gotta learn to tie your shoes, people, so your teacher doesn't have to do it. She's screaming like that. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, she needs to scream. Come here. Hold on.
Life coach for Tommy and Matt.
I need to hire Maisie. Yeah. They're too soft. They'll be like, oh, God, I'm too fragile. I'll fall down to their...
Oh, my
and I'm like, get them. Kick them while they're down.
No, you don't want that, dude. I want what you have because I want a helpless creature that's my pal. I want a helpless pal. I don't want another Andrea. God
well, that's what you got. I got 2 other me's.
That's awesome. You hit the lottery.
No, I don't. Because I'm like,
you guys are the Trinity.
I'm like, you can't do nothing. You don't know nothing.
Your Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. You got the whole Trinity.
No, you know how irritating it is to talk to yourself and be like, why don't you learn?
Are you in the car?
I prefer to talk to myself.
I'm understand that? I was helping Tommy with his homework last night, and then
I can't imagine you helping anyone with homework.
Well, it's getting to the point where I'm going to be aged out by 4th grade. I don't think I can do it 5th.
It's hard.
Yeah,
the math stuff.
English.
I don't do the math stuff.
I
can do flat Stanley books. I got that all day.
Well, now the new math, I'm like, nah, I can't learn it. Like just a Google Calendar. I'm like, I can't I get the concept, but I'm like, I don't want to do it like this.
I got yelled at last night for teaching Maisie how to use critical thinking. Now follow me on this. If she doesn't know a word on the page, right, but the page has a bunch of pictures on it, look at the beginning letter of the word, look at the pictures, see if you notice anything that starts with that, see if that word fits in there around the right length, and boom, you figured it out.
All
Andrea's
right.
like, that's not reading. I was like, it's critical thinking.
It's kind of a shortcut. I like it,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
I thought you'd like that. It's how
Yeah.
you figure things out. That way, if you ever get it put in a situation where you can't read the word on the wall, but there's an illustration, try to look at the illustration and fake it. Because if you fake it, you don't look like a dumbass. And Andrew's like, that is so not what you're supposed to teach her. And I go, well, you're the one that started in on reincarnation the other day. She's worse.
So... And then I'm worried, Tom, I was helping Tommy, and then he goes to the second question. It's just math, like subtraction, right? And there's a bunch of them. You know, you used to have to do like a whole
problems?
page. No, just like 7 minus 8,
Okay.
5 minus 2. Like it's just a bunch of them. So you do it over and over, repetition. So he goes to the next one, and then every single one, he's like, And then I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there. I'm like, Tommy, come on. And he's like, oh. And then he goes,
I've seen that.
And then he starts to write. He gets like a 2. The half 2. He's like,
He might have ADD as well.
And then I'm like, come on. And then, but sometimes he doesn't do it. It's like when he gets
They
lazy.
have Datarol and Kitarol. Like, what do they got for little
And then I'm like, he's got it. And I scream, like, he's got the bite. He got it.
Got to put a tourniquet around his leg. Don't let it spread to his brain.
Yeah, and then he's like, I can't keep my body from daydreaming. And I'm like, me neither.
That's cute.
And I'm like, oh man, you got it. I don't know how to help that.
That's when you just hug him and you walk outside and swim.
I'm like, I'll shave off a little bit of Adderall on your tongue. I don't know what
You
to do.
can take him to the doctor and they'll give
Doctor!
No, this is the way you got to do the Alicia Silverstone. You got to
baby bird him?
No, you got to put the Adderall in your mouth with a swig of water, shake it up until it's
diluted.
neutralized. You need to swallow 3/4 of it and then spit 1/4 in his mouth.
Every day.
Yep, every day.
Yeah, that'll get you to learn.
Oh my God, what are we doing here? We're gonna jump to some voicemail messages. I got a bunch, man. They've been coming in fast. Let's try. Oh God, this is gonna be the last one. Baby on board.
Okay.
Hey, Tom and Dan. So I was just listening to you guys chat about the baby on board stickers, and I just thought that I would let you know that they're actually on people's cars for first responders to know that there is potentially a baby on board and to take the precautions.
This is my favorite voicemail. What I like about this one, though, is that after, I don't know, as I listened to it, I was like, okay, because I could see a scenario where the baby flies out of the car seat, maybe, right? And if you didn't know that, if you weren't looking for a car seat, or let's say there wasn't a car seat, let's say maybe the parents weren't being very responsible, right?
Yeah, but there could be a car seat in the car and no car or no baby in there.
Yeah,
possible. Yeah, but at least you should give it a once-over, right?
But you should give it a once-over.
Well, especially if the driver's unresponsive. I'm just saying, you gotta look under the seat, see if a baby flew under there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Now I see your point, but my point was that a paramedic or a firefighter or whatever, first responder, I would imagine, I have no idea if this is true, but I'm gonna bet it is, that they're trained to search the entire car, even under the seats or wherever, for any person that could possibly be in there before you leave it on the side of the road for the tow truck or whatever. So it does. I bet you they're not trained to search, to look to see if there's a baby on board sticker and then search.
No, that's
they
true.
just search
You're
the car.
more likely to see the car seat than a baby on board sticker anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've already debunked this, that's not originally why those stickers came out.
Yeah. But I do like, when someone takes like a body part or like chemo from one hospital to the other, and they'll get like a radiation sticker or something. That's true. They'll get some sort of thing that they have to put on their trunk.
I have a bladder in my car.
like biohazard material.
Yeah, biohazard, and that makes sense because
I want one of those.
You wouldn't be expecting. So someone gets rear-ended.
Oh my God, where's the kidneys?
And their trunk full of chemo explodes, and then the firefighter's there. Like, he needs to know that there's a bunch of chemo radiation or whatever, that could possibly harm him. So that makes sense. But the baby on board, stupid.
You know what I've always wanted to do? I've always wanted to get a part-time job as a courier, running body parts for, surgeries, and then get one. Like, they're like, here's your heart, and then get it, and then just drive away. Never to be seen again.
Would you be a murderer?
Don't know. It's a chance I'm gonna
not necessarily murder.
Manslaughter?
Maybe manslaughter.
It's a chance I'm going to have to take.
Yeah, because you could be charged.
That's how I'm going out, by the way.
Hold on. If you have AIDS, I remember when a couple...
Wow, that took a turn.
Well, a couple cases, I think, unless it's an urban legend, where like
He's got AIDS.
A person who knowingly had AIDS...
Correct.
Had sex and didn't tell the person.
Oh, that's
unprotected.
murder. Yeah, they get charged.
And then they had AIDS and died, and then they considered murder, right? So taking the
It's
heart,
premeditated. If you already
but
know.
I'm not taking any. I'm not giving anything to anybody. I'm just not
You're
showing
not
up.
giving.
Yeah.
Well, what if you got lost?
Yeah, I got lost.
Then that's different.
That's what I'm gonna tell them. I got lost.
Okay, well they know, they can see. They're like, it's like when you Uber Eats and you're like, where are you going?
I turned my
Uber
GPS.
organs.
I turned my Uber organs.
You see the car, you're like, that's not. You're going out of your way. You're picking up your buddy. You're getting weed
I
or
got
whatever.
dementia. I don't know where I'm at.
I see people drive around. And I'm like, why aren't you following your phone? You don't Uber Eats that much, but
I'm very proud. I am extremely proud of the fact that as a 45-year-old American, I've never used Uber Eats.
Or any delivery service like that?
You've got like pizza delivered.
I'll get my pizza, and I've gotten Chinese delivered, but I've never used Uber Eats.
You never use that app where you see the car drive.
I did,
regular
not
Uber.
DoorDash. There was another one before that used to work locally before it exploded. This is years ago when I was still with the radio station. It was like 12 years ago.
Oh yeah, that was it was a smaller
Yeah,
company.
I used that a couple of times. Other than that, I've never used Uber Eats. It's just easier for me to cook.
Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have the same experience where you're watching the driver and they're going, like they get close to your house and all of a sudden they just start taking off a different direction.
I always think they're going to kill me when they do that. I always think, it's like
what?
That. I am with Samantha. Like when the Uber driver, like if he's not going directly to my house, if he goes a little bit weird, I think, what if this guy just goes to a field and has his way with me?
Yeah.
I was like,
why would he do that?
I'll never get my chance to drive away with an organ in my car.
Why would anybody do that? But it happens.
Oh, yeah, I would understand if you're a woman because because I see
higher chances.
You honestly don't know if I'm a woman or not, do you?
Well,
could be.
But I feel
Boy,
like
that'd be the juice this show needs, right?
Yes.
Oh, you transfer, like you turn into
Transfer.
Put in your
transition. I forgot
I'd
transition.
like to transfer to woman, please.
What? I'm in
Put in a
transition.
transfer. I'm taking my family with me.
You
Hey,
transition
they're paying
to
for the
woman.
move.
I think people would think you're doing 90s radio and you're just doing it for publicity.
But
stunt.
I'd have to go through with it.
Yeah, you'd have to.
I'd have to go through with
Otherwise,
it.
it's sensitive.
It'd keep
You'd
us
have to
alive
cut-
for another.
You'd have to cut it off.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You'd have to. I mean, you got to do it if you're going to do it. You got to
You
do it
gotta
right.
the
Full up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be, what money-wise? Any amount of money to do that?
No, that one's not on the
Yeah,
table.
yeah,
sadly.
yeah.
Because it wouldn't be authentic because it's not who I am.
Well, yeah, it's
so
not what
it'd
you
be
want.
like literally, it literally just
Your
be
entire life.
torturing myself and
Yeah,
changing myself
yeah,
into
yeah.
something. It'd be the exact opposite of when you are trans and you decide to transition into like a more authentic version of you. It's the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, because you're like, I
am not this at all.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Let's do. Oh, this is a good one. Came up the week before we went on vacation about radios at the gym.
What's up, T&D? Shard and Randy here. Yesterday I'm at the gym, and the woman next to me on the elliptical, mid-40s, is listening to an old school box transistor radio. Antenna up, sticking way out. And A, I thought, radio's not dead. But B, I could not for the life of me understand what in the world this woman could be listening to. What would be so important that you would need to bring a transistor radio into the gym to listen to it? Let me know.
Well, maybe she couldn't afford earbuds or something.
Nah,
right?
it's a crazy person. Really? Well, you could afford the gym membership.
Right.
And guess what? A cheap radio Walkman is what? $4 now?
You can listen to anything on the radio on your phone now. Literally every radio station has a website that you can stream whatever's.
Well, let's just take the point of they couldn't afford something better. I think it's affordable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
I can go to Dollar Tree and get a radio.
Yeah. With something to like earbuds to listen to.
First day at the gym, maybe. All she had, didn't think about it.
I'm
That
going
cannot
crazy.
be.
Crazy people like old technology. There's a documentary about a guy they call like Radio Man or something.
Hey, that's me.
He's in New York, and he wears a boombox around his neck, like a old '80s boombox or whatever. He listens to
Is
the
that
radio.
for novelty though?
It's just
Has he become famous like Ferrari Man at the Millennium Mall?
Yeah. He's like
That's what it is.
Yeah, there's
That's
her
for
attention.
He's
Yeah.
not full homeless, but he goes to movie sets and he basically
Oh, I do know that guy. Yeah.
all the movie stars, they know him because he's at every movie set. He's kind of like a prize pig where he just shows up and just hangs around movie sets until
He's
like
an extra in a ton of movies.
yeah. It's the whole thing, but he wears a big radio around his neck, like that's his gimmick, and they call him Radio Man. And
I think that's cool.
He's just a crazy person. He's just a crazy.
All right. Well, I'm outvoted on that one. Bye-bye.